Undergrunt.
I want to be honest with all of you.
I've been hacking into government and corporate systems all over the country.
All over the world.
I have discovered more information than any hacker ever has.
Ever!
What I have found will shock you.
Here are the files and the supporting documents. And supporting truths.
The factual documents.
I'm releasing these files to the public today.
In a small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the second of the monk said, I'll take two, and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth where they turned into babies. They were named from that, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the time. And one time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gem. But if you call right now and say, where's my whisk, we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey, welcome to Bonus Disc. I'm one of your hosts, Bob Rose, and with me is another host, Matt P.A.
Yeah.
And with us today are two returning guests of the show at the same time.
Yeah.
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Jimmy. How do you pronounce my last name usually?
Let's hear it.
Giegerich?
So wrong.
Giegerich?
Yeah, that's fine.
Giegerich?
That's fine.
Giegerich.
There you go. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
That's why I was trying to introduce yourself, because I get your name
I had a
wrong.
feeling I was waiting for you to say my name wrong. So
Giegerich.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Giegerich.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
I'm Andrea Kalfas.
Yes.
Yeah, try to say my last name.
Kalfas.
Yeah.
Both of you kind of have nightmare last names. That's why I didn't.
Nightmare. Okay.
Andrea, yours is way better.
Yeah. Andrew's yours is easy. Mine-
Yours is like Geiger counter. I can't.
Right,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can't get it.
Geiger
I'm
counter.
sorry to both of you.
Wow, dude. Wow.
I know.
You know what?
I know.
Let's get out of
and
here. I don't know if I want to be on the show.
And Jimmy's been on the show so many times, I still can't say his name right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, you've been here for a Neil Breen movie before.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my second one.
Yeah, and Andrea, you were here for the longest episode we've ever done.
Yeah, so
the Barbarians.
let's combine those two facts
Those
together.
three
Right,
facts
yeah.
to make this an extremely long episode
Spent
about
3
Neil
hours
Breen.
talking about this movie none of us understood at all.
I could talk about this for the rest of my life and never get to anything. We watched his newest film, which is
Yeah.
Twisted Pair.
Yes.
Which is a year old, I think is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going by the credits.
I think it came out though. He released it on DVD himself within the past few months. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just so we all understand that we committed a crime because
did.
it is illegal to show it publicly or privately.
Yeah, it says it's illegal. It says on the DVD-R that he sent to me that cost me $30 with no special features and in all caps on the website. No subtitles.
No subtitles.
It's not for deaf people.
Fuck you if you can't hear this.
Printed on that disc though, it says not legal for commercial or non-commercial use. So I guess you just have to order it
Paperweight.
and then just imagine what's
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
committed a crime,
We did.
Matt.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that would be some super art
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, man.
Daring people. Here, I
Yeah.
sold you this. It's illegal to watch
Yeah.
it.
yeah,
We
yeah.
have to come up with fake names. And
Yeah,
we have
we
to
gotta
involve
move.
We have
a
to-
J,
we gotta move.
an N, or a B.
Neil Breen he's sending DNA AI assassins after us right now.
God
He's gonna
damn
leap
it.
through your window as a small thing and then come and
He'll
become
grow.
Yeah.
He's sort of like Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
If you're just like sitting somewhere and then all of a sudden you realize that the environment that you're in is a gigantic blown out JPEG, that means that Neil Breen's on his way to
Yeah,
come
he's
get
about to
you.
fuck you up.
That's like my dream is to wake up in a JPEG.
Yeah.
That's on and I freeze frame myself.
Yeah,
That's like
right.
what I want.
Right, right.
What I also love about Jimmy as a guest too is that every movie we watch, you've paid money for.
Yes.
I know.
Oh my
That's like a rare thing.
Like usually like a lot of money because
Yeah.
the first one I was ever on was Death Nurse and I spent $150 on that VHS tape.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, people ask me that a lot. how do I fucking feel about that? I don't give a shit. It's his money.
Yeah.
Especially when he's like, yeah, the DVD's $14.
But I got it on VHS at a steal.
Yeah,
Steal at
very
150.
cheap. Very, very cheap for that movie.
Fuck. To be fair, Death Nurse is a great
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
fucking
so,
fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that because that makes almost sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Death Nurse is kind of coherent.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Twisted Pair, How does it begin?
Unfortunately.
Dude.
How did it begin?
How did it begin? I'm asking.
It began.
The world.
Oh,
The
the
world.
Earth. It's the Earth. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
and
the
Bob was like,
Earth.
I have
Yeah.
this exact footage.
Yeah, I know.
on my
Yeah.
computer.
I have a pack of like digital Earth shots.
And so did Neil Breen.
And so he has the same pack.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some of that stock footage I have in this movie on my computer right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
Most
Yeah.
assuredly.
Yeah.
it's video blogs.
Yeah,
He has
yeah,
video-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this whole
when he
movie
announced
is.
online that like the special effects are going to be a huge upgrade,
Yeah.
he's subscribed to
Yeah.
video.
So I watched
Someone
this like
told him
Kickstarter
about it.
video for this movie where he was like, "This is the most visually stimulating."
There was a
And
Kickstarter
you're
for
like,
this movie?
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Did it
Or
make
he-
its goal? I don't remember.
Sure, all of his do because he probably pays for the rest of it himself. There's
Yeah,
no way
that's
he
true.
would let it fail.
That's true. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
think he'd let it fail.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
he-
the one Kickstarter video was hysterical because it was him just going like, "So I've already made the movie and it's done. I just need you to pay for me to like be able to produce it so you can see it. So like, I already saw it. It's cool. It's great.
And
But if you want to
means-
see it, I'm not gonna make it unless you pay for the
Yeah.
copies. Like it was insane. I was like, okay,
I'll give you this
yeah.
gift if you pay for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Fateful Findings. I was like, what is this video? This is weird.
I mean, his arrogance is part of it.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So we see the Earth,
Yeah.
and then it's a voiceover. during
Yeah.
that.
It's like 5 minutes of like voiceover.
We see two babies. There's
yeah,
twin
with like
babies.
lots of stock footage and
You see an
stock like
hourglass.
CGI.
well,
and,
it's
like,
the
that
shot
kind
of the babies at a table,
Well,
Yeah.
first,
Oh
and
my
yeah, the
God,
babies feeding
yes.
each other hot dogs.
and then he says, "That's me and my brother.
Right.
I'm Cade, and he's Kale."
Yeah,
Cade and
and
Kale.
Kale.
Altair.
Cade Altair. Right.
Cade Altair.
That's
Altair.
a
Altair.
dude. That's the sickest. That's the sickest fucking like Vampire the Masquerade.
Yes. yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it does not
It's like-
sound like
It's an NPC in Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
not
It's
a
like
name.
he's like at an Eyes Wide Shut orgy. He's that kind of
Yeah,
a vampire.
yeah.
Cade Altair.
yeah.
Neil Breen is the dusty, crappy vampire. His name's not Cade Altair.
Cade Altair.
No.
Well, he says that him and his brother were taken at a young age by a force.
The
Yeah.
power. He
The-
kept
Is he
calling
called the power?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that it?
Yeah.
And it's this goblin face.
It's like this white head.
Halloween mask.
I couldn't tell if it was a Halloween mask or if it was like something like some sort of like prepackaged like CGI thing. Or
I think it
something
was
that.
like a digital face.
Yeah.
I know,
But it
because
was
there
n-
was a shot where it was partially inflated, where the like
the head
rubber
lo-
that made up the mask was not
Not
fully.
full- Yeah.
inflated.
So it was an actual
Huh.
shot of
yeah,
something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it was.
There's
We
a
could
point
spend
where
all
he
the time
turns-
talking about the special effects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
well, they
my
are the
God.
best.
They are.
Of
They're the
all.
great.
Yeah.
It's
Best
great.
special effects of all of his
He
He
movies.
stepped it up.
Yeah.
Well, these computer screens have things on them.
The
in this.
computers
I
work
mean,
in this
like,
movie. That was
like-
nice.
That is a
Yes,
huge step
you're
up.
right.
I mean, that's a huge step
Those
up.
things
Computers
being-
turned on.
Dude made 4
Yeah, they're
movies in a
just
row
turned
where
on.
not a single computer was ever on. This one
Right.
at least has screens. With shit.
Right.
No shit.
I got
Just it's blue. It's
Yeah, it's
blue
just-
light.
it's just-
It's
Yeah.
something,
Yeah, that's something.
Andrea. It's
That's
something.
That's something. Unfortunately,
Yeah, Double Down is literally just off. So yeah,
just
yeah.
typing on laptops in the middle of the desert
Right.
with no power.
So
Yeah.
he pushed
Nonsense.
a button on all of them.
Yeah.
He says that He says that the force, the power,
The force
turned
like,
him and his. They raised him and his brother to be
Humanoid.
humanoid AI
AI
beings.
Yeah, he said it was putting
Demons.
I said DNA.
Oh,
It said
DNA.
something, he said something about them putting stuff in their DNA to make them
Yeah.
more
Humanoid.
humans with power. It was
They're
the weirdest
more
sentence. He
human?
was like, yes, he goes, it made us more human
Yeah.
and gave us powers.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what does that mean?
More human.
Yeah, they're like,
That would
like
make you
Captain
less-
America. Like they're,
I guess.
they're like the peak of human.
I guess
that's
Yeah.
what it's supposed to
Neil
mean.
Breen's case, more human would be very different from his
Yeah.
From his
True.
like natural
state.
state.
Yeah, yeah.
from his
So,
from turkey jerky man
Yeah.
to regular human.
yeah.
Oh man, I hope he gets some fucking sick jowls when he gets like super.
He's already
Yeah.
got him.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're started, but I want him to get way down.
Like he's like droopy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he says that he was allowed to come back to Earth because we're at the shot of him. They show the shot of the kids playing at the beach when he's talking about
Yeah,
this, and then
yeah.
there's the tree,
Yeah.
The Magic
the
the Gathering.
JPEG.
Oh wait, we gotta talk about how
Matte
the
painting.
music stopped
Jesus.
at the beach.
Right.
Or no, the music stopped, but the sound of the beach kept happening, and the picture stopped, and we all were like, "Oh no, the
Yeah,
fucked up."
the
And then it
DVD
was
that
like,
he
no.
burned for me in his computer.
I was like worried that it actually was breaking. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
I was like, "Oh wait a
Many
minute, oh god!"
times.
And then you were like, "That's the movie."
No, that's just an artistic decision.
it's an awful
It
one.
is, you're right.
He's into freeze frames.
Yes.
Like he's
Way
like
into him.
He's
yeah.
like fetishized them at this
yeah,
point.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we're at the fountain
Well, it's like
tree
he
or
treats a
whatever.
movie like a play he's putting on a fridge with magnets or something. He's like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I walk into the like it's really weird.
I don't have coverage here, so if I just freeze frame it,
Yeah.
it's like it's there the whole time.
I need
Yeah.
an extra 3 seconds. So freeze it.
Can he
Yeah.
freeze time though?
Well, the power?
Does he have the power to like pause
I
time?
mean, in the beginning of the movie, he does, but then he never uses it again.
Yeah.
so-
okay.
Wait, he does. Oh, you're
Remember?
right.
Yeah.
Hold on, 'cause
Follow me.
yeah.
he
I can
says
help you.
The power. I forget how the
Okay.
other brother got lost to time or something.
They
don't
walk
know.
out of the tree. They're like birthed from the
The
tree,
tree.
as grown men.
Right.
And then he like
and he says,
dissipates.
"The last time I saw my brother broke my heart."
Yeah,
And his
I think
brother
he
just
just
Right.
was
disappeared.
like, I'm tired of being a slave to the power head. I'm gonna live a human life.
Right.
That's
or
a very
something.
relatable feeling, though, man. I say that to myself all the
Yeah.
time.
I say that to myself too.
yeah.
And his brother
Screaming
just,
out my
he
window
just
every
disappears,
morning.
right?
There
He
you go.
he's like
He just like
fades.
vanishes. Yeah.
Right. And then he comes to Earth, right?
Yes.
Well, that
Where's
was
he-
them coming to Earth out of the tree. I thought.
Is the tree the conduit between the power?
It's like Yggdrasil or whatever. I don't know.
I think that we're putting more thought into this than I
Than
think
he
Neil,
did.
Neil
He
Breen
probably did.
did. He probably was
But to
just.
understand what happened.
It's a fool's errand.
I know. It is.
Yeah.
Right. So
To embrace madness was to do this.
I know. That's the prologue, though. It's like
Yeah.
he had he was a human boy with a brother,
Yeah.
and then an alien power abducted them.
Turned them
Yeah.
into humanoid AI DNA.
It's like a kidnapping scenario.
But he was also like, there was footage of him as like him now, like as an old man. And he was like, I had a hand in my own creation process. And he was in like the lab, which was, it was like obviously like stock footage of like doctors in the lab
Yes,
that he
yeah,
self-inserted. And he was like making himself, I guess.
Oh,
Maybe
you
he
mean the
was, like-
Minority Reports?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that where
yeah.
there's a scene where he puts his hand up to like the Minority Report computer,
Not
but like
even.
he,
Not
yeah,
even.
well, I was
the
gonna
hand
say,
was floating to the left,
Left
of the
of
yeah,
it.
he like missed his mark, and it's just like hovering there, and he
That's
just
the best. The
he looks
director
confused.
missed his mark.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Well, John, the cameraman, blew it.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Really
John
helped him out.
Magistramo. Coma.
Giacomo
Right.
something.
So, what happened? How does it actually start? The
I
actual
want to be
movie
able to
start.
jump really high. I want to jump high, slide the jump lever higher. I think that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
But just once
I had
a
a hand
day.
in my
Once a
creation.
day.
Just like,
Once a day. It's my daily.
Well,
Yeah.
so the movie actually started with him walking into frozen stock footage of soldiers and looked like just like
combat.
a combat, like in a blown out building. And he
Oh,
says,
right,
what
right.
you just said it before. It was like,
He's like,
Get behind me.
Follow me. They can't hurt me. Follow me. I'll help you.
yeah,
Yeah,
as
but then
a
he-
bunch of just like the same explosion that we're going to talk about probably a
God.
million
Yeah.
times in this
Because
fucking
it
podcast.
occurred about a million
Because
times.
he just uses the same explosion effect.
Every time.
Just overlaid.
On itself.
So it looks like half the time he's exploding.
Yeah.
Not that the environment's exploding, that he's exploding. But like it just starts like the same explosion starts going off, and then he just kind of he can't really run. He kind of just like
dude, he has this weird like shamble.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have all seen The Incredible Bulk, right?
yes.
He kind of runs like The Incredible Bulk.
Yeah, he does.
With that like butt shake, like wiggle walk,
Yes.
you know? He
Yeah,
just
yeah,
has
yeah.
that weird old man shimmy.
Yeah.
I feel as though
Yeah.
most of those scenes I thought he was going to put in like bullets flying over his head, but just forgot to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
behaving as if he's like under fire the whole
Yeah.
time. but
Yeah,
he is
right.
Well, the building's like
not.
it's like a war scene, right? Like,
Well, in the
he's
beginning,
saving,
yeah,
scene.
yeah.
he's saving the soldiers from war,
Yeah.
right?
Dude, it doesn't make any sense the way it's cut.
I
because,
know,
Like, he's
yeah.
like, follow me, I'll save you. And then it's like him running alone.
Yeah.
And then the
Right, yeah.
entire fucking building explodes,
Yes.
and you're like,
and you don't
Guess
see the
what?
Did he
soldiers.
say
Yeah, but
that?
that's when he jumps out. He
Yeah.
jumps out.
he jumps out
The
the
building
window.
explodes. We're like, where are the
Hold on,
soldiers?
So,
Yeah.
God damn it. So, this picture, it's like a freeze frame of a video of a building
Yeah.
that's about to explode.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
he climbs out this window, and it zooms in on him, and the background becomes garbage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It is-
72 DPI.
yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Nothing behind. He's sitting on gobbledygook.
Yeah.
And then he like flings himself out of the building and it blows up. But you're like, where the hell were those 10 soldiers?
Yeah, you
Like,
didn't see
where
the
did they
soldiers
go?
come out, and they
Right.
weren't like, "Thanks for saving us."
Yeah, they
And
didn't
then-
leap out of the window all crazy.
It's just like a firebombed building, and he's like, another victory for me, I guess.
No, he said another loss, and I thought
No,
that
no, he didn't say
no,
loss.
No, he did because he said another
lo-
loss, and then I was like, oh, I guess he fucked up, and then he's like, for the bad guys,
For the bad guys, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right.
for the forces of evil, right, right.
Jesus.
True on you.
Yeah, we do got to talk about the fact that like 9 times out of 10, when you see Neil Breen in a scene in this movie, it looks like one of those like full motion video, like PC
my
point and
God,
click
yeah.
adventure
Yes.
games, because it's just a fucking static background with him, like kind of like
The frame
compressed
rate
looking.
goes
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it looks
he looks
Yeah.
compressed as
Yeah.
a human. He's like Bigfoot. It's
Yeah.
like he looks fuzzy. He's
One of
just
the-
looks.
He is a
like,
Remember those
cryptid.
games at the arcade that were like live action footage that you would shoot?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Wild West
Mad
game?
Dog McCree.
Yeah.
Mad Dog
Yeah.
McCree.
And like
it
Lethal
looks like
Force.
Neil
Lethal Force.
Breen made that game. Like
Yeah.
that, I'm convinced.
Yeah, he saw that and was like, video games are never going to look any better than
That's
this.
it.
Like,
That's
why I want
what
my
real
movies
life looks like.
Yeah.
It's just amazing that there were scenes where I eventually said to all of you, I was like, I can't tell if he's green screened or not. It's
Right.
Yeah.
freaking me out.
Yeah.
Because his body just is green screen in the
Yeah.
life. It's,
Yes.
His
He's not
head.
actually among us
No.
in this phase. He's phased out.
And
Yeah.
he shoots stuff where it's like a mid shot, and it looks like you can't tell if his body's in the shot being covered by a chair or something,
right.
or if he's actually standing
Yeah.
there.
There's
It's
so
so good.
We already skipped. We had to have already skipped. No, it's after.
We've gotten
so-
nowhere.
We've gotten
We're
nowhere.
still at the
By
original
the end of this
siege.
podcast, we're not going to have gotten anywhere.
No, I.
This movie,
Yeah.
like, I do want to say that this was the most incomprehensible Neil Breen movie.
Oh,
I
for
think
fuck-
I've
It's
seen.
more incomprehensible than Double Down.
Yeah.
and that is
easily.
fucking feat.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
he did
Yeah.
it. He found a way to
Right,
do it. The
right.
son of a bitch.
Because I
did
thought
it.
that Pass Through was tough to follow, but like that at least had somewhat of a plot with like
that kind of made sense.
with like
yeah.
the sisters trying to like escape from the like human
Yeah.
traffickers and like
Right,
that
right,
kind of
right.
stuff. Dude, I couldn't tell you who he works for in this movie. I
No.
couldn't.
He works for an old white lady.
Yeah, I couldn't tell
a
you
very Midwestern accent.
Yeah, right.
who the bad guys were in this movie. I couldn't tell you who like anybody really was.
Yeah.
Even
I mean,
I didn't
he
even-
was the good. Cade was the good
I don't
guy.
even think they're good.
I think they're
Cade was the
neutral.
protagonist. How's that?
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
not good. He wasn't virtuous.
No.
He served the Halloween mask
Right.
entity.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
What happens after that?
So then he reports back to
That's
the woman,
the
that-
woman
the
that he
white-haired
works
woman.
for. Yeah.
In
the gun scene. It's,
Yeah, right, where he just pulls literally 25 guns off of his body.
In the shut down community college where they filmed all of this.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, right.
like, there was a special
all
thank
at
you.
night
Yeah.
with no lights on because they better not be caught.
Yeah. Well, there was like a special. There was a thank you for like it was like Nevada State University.
Nevada State University.
Yeah, thank
right.
you for letting us
Thank
rent.
you so much.
Rent.
rent your.
He had a friend who let them in.
Yeah,
He
that's
took a
it.
class.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm just gonna register.
He took
for
a
this.
video editing class there,
Yeah.
and this is what it got.
That'd
him.
be amazing.
What if? Oh my god, dude! What if he took a class there, and then a lot of times universities will give you free access to
Yes.
like the tools and stuff.
Yeah.
What if they gave him all
That's
of the
why the
like,
special
stock
effects
footage?
in this
They're
movie.
slightly better.
Yeah.
They
It
gave him a
comes with a
sign-in
subscription.
to
Yeah, he
video
didn't even
blog.
pay
Oh
for the
my
assets.
god.
We cracked it.
Yep.
And he didn't ask for anyone like to help him
Yeah.
in the class. Like,
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. He walked in there and he was like, "Hey, what's up, Teach? I already know what I'm doing."
I'm 4 movies deep,
Yeah.
bitch.
Have you heard of me? My name's
Kind of
Neil
a big
Breen.
deal. Kind of a big deal.
I just need that password. Thank you.
Don't bring your jeans or nothing, but I'm Neil Breen.
If you want me to teach, in case you can't come in.
Yeah,
I'm
I
here.
got it, Teach. I
Right.
got it.
God, please let him teach students. Okay, so he talks to the woman while he's taking his guns off of his body
Yeah.
and basically getting almost naked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought that they
Yeah.
were gonna start fucking each
Now,
other.
also, he's a guy that can
He would
fly.
never fuck a
Yeah.
woman older than like 32.
right.
Oh,
no.
disgusting,
Never.
gross.
Yeah, no.
That's awful.
No, he's one of those guys
Yeah.
that think that like women like literally like are like I forget what they call it. There's these guys they think like there's a chemical that starts to stop being produced in like women that makes them like basically worthless because they can't have children as good as and if they did have children that there's like a sweet spot where it's like you have sex with women in this age range.
Oh,
Are you saying Neil Breen's an incel?
It's not
No,
an
no,
incel
no, no.
thing. I can't remember what
It's
it
that dude
has.
that, are you talking about the dude that got kicked out of Starbucks
Yes.
for asking out like a 16-year-old girl?
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
There's
that
this
guy.
weird blogger guy who has this theory about some chemical.
Yeah,
It's
it starts with like a
awesome.
T or something like that.
Yeah,
Well, it's
Sorry,
not.
anyway.
It's not awesome,
Is
actually.
it teenagers?
But Neil Breen seems
He's a
like
chemical
that
guy.
He
Yeah.
has that man. He has. It's like he's read that manifesto
Yes.
and was like, "Oh, this makes sense."
Yeah.
I realize I'm
God.
70, but I can only date like
yeah, it has to be
20-year-olds.
19 to 24. Otherwise, they're
Why
worthless.
the
Yeah.
fuck are men the way they are? That's not right.
Hey, you know what, Andrea? It's just science. It's just science. It's just that T
I
chemical.
need us all to like
The T chemical.
Whatever that T chemical is.
Sorry, we don't have the answer there, Andrea.
Sorry, babe. It just works.
explain yourselves to me right now.
Dude, that guy's like
At least that guy's trying to use science.
he's like that guy's like a schizophrenic hobo that posts
Yes.
blogs online.
Yeah.
He is not
Yeah,
a
he's
source
not.
of information.
No.
So all men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Including Neil Breen.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. No, not including Neil Breen because he's not actually a human, man.
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Right.
He's just.
I don't want to give him a pass though, because he's
No,
not a
no,
human.
no,
But
no,
you
no,
know,
no,
yeah.
He's the male of whatever species he actually
Yeah.
is.
Whatever being of light.
His movies have been trying to tell us this for years.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he
it's
is
either- it's
judging
either
us
that-
harshly all
Oh,
the
yes.
same.
It's either he's trying to tell us something or he just doesn't know how to write anything but the same movie over and over again.
Yeah.
Did it again. Yes.
I mean, in the scene where he's
So-
taking the guns off, that woman is like, she's got to be his age. She's like appropriately aged
I
for
think
him.
she's younger than him.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
but she would never be
No.
a romantic interest in his movie.
No,
ever.
No, he always, it seems like, goes for the same type of woman, which
Yeah.
is like I would say something like.
An out of work LA actress.
Well, I was gonna say.
You're 100% right.
I was gonna say
That
kind of
is-
like a busty, plain-looking MILF. I think is what he always goes
yeah.
for. No, for real.
Yeah,
like
no,
every
yeah,
single
you're right.
one, it's always the same
Yeah.
body type. It's always the same face type.
I bet he likes to get bench pressed by a lady or something. He might be into that. He's like,
I can see that.
Wrestle with me, win.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're gonna let me win? He's like, no,
Isn't
you
it-
will win.
It,
You'll
kind of
win.
did happen in this movie. We'll,
Oh, that
we'll
did
get to that.
happen.
I was gonna say though, the one thing that I can take away from watching all of his movies is that I really I weirdly want to know what he's sexually like,
No,
which
no,
is odd.
No,
It's just
Bob.
odd. No, I don't like it, but he's so odd. Something's going on with this guy.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like he's probably into like getting his face stomped on or something.
Yeah, totally.
He like does the like digging balls through the
Yeah,
hole in the
exactly.
table and gets walked on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Neil Breen can't like vanilla sex, that's all I'm saying. Like he
He
can't.
Yeah.
puts his dick through the fly of his pants. I don't think he ever takes his jeans off.
Yeah, that's true.
No way that man has removed them.
Oh, unless he's shooting a scene
Unless
for
he
his
shoot-
movie,
exactly.
Right,
and he has to show his balls
With a
to the
cast
camera.
Yeah.
full of blood.
right.
You know what? I just realized I'd like to see Neil Breen like in a recreation of an episode of Seinfeld. Just replace Jerry Seinfeld with Neil Breen.
Dude, replace
Oh.
all of them.
Every character with
Dude,
Neil Breen.
Actually, Neil
my
Breen as
God.
Kramer would be amazing.
Oh my god!
Oh my God.
dude, that'd be
Oh my
awesome.
fucking God.
great.
That would be
So
awesome.
good. We should probably keep
failed.
talking about the movie though.
Fine.
Neil Breen
Fine.
He is known for his physical comedy.
Yes.
That's something we can all think of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very expressive movements in all of his movies.
Yeah.
God,
When
he's
he
never.
drove down that lane that had the white painted out, and he was like so roomy. I was like, yeah, so funny.
God
What
damn
happened?
it.
What happened in that scene with this woman? No, she says like, "Do you want to take a break? You've been working a lot of cases." And he's like, "All I do is work." And she's like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, yeah. And she's like,
But-
"Oh, okay. Well, you want a case?" And he's
Here's
like,
a glowing
but she also
ball.
said
Yeah.
like she's like, oh well, that's right. I forgot that like your type they don't
that's
need rest or
I
something
don't think
like
I heard
that.
any of the words in this scene. I don't even remember.
No,
what
Yeah.
you
because
guys were talking
she's
about.
aware that he is a humanoid person.
Right. Which can we just talk about the
She's
fact
like
that
an
like
agent
DNA
of his.
robot.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
an
yeah.
agent
but can we talk
of
about the
hers,
fact that
rather.
like he keeps saying the word humanoid
Yeah.
as if that isn't a human.
Right.
And he's saying
Well, humanoid's like a descriptive thing. Like
Right.
we're all humanoid looking, right? As you
Right.
said,
No,
Andrea,
we
right?
are not
Yeah.
even looking.
We are humanoid.
We're human.
Indeed.
We are humanoid.
We're all
Humanoid.
seemingly humanoid at this table, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like he's just like he's just using
Our
the
T
word.
cell count is normal. So, yeah.
Trixie is more humanoid
Right.
than Neil Breen.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the dog. Right.
But he keeps like using that like word as if it's describing, I guess, something different, but it's not like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really wish he gave them the name.
Yeah.
Like him and his brother. You know, like,
Yeah,
it could have
right.
been anything. Just
Anything.
something that
Yeah.
wasn't humanoid.
We're like
DNA
Nephilim or
beasts
something.
Yeah.
Lizards
Yeah,
or-
no,
yeah.
it did
Anything.
seem like he thought he was angelic in some way.
Right.
so-
Well, there is like an angel thing later in the movie, so.
Yeah.
No, that's the muse.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Dude, I fucking.
Sorry,
love
that's like
this
6
movie.
hours in runtime away from where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
so she gives him another job.
She gives him another job, and then she holds out her hand, and
Oh, yeah.
a purple like orb starts floating in it, and then she goes, "Programmable human DNA," and just goes like this.
virtual. It was like programmable.
Dude, you could
virtual-
take those words and shuffle them in
Yeah,
every
yeah,
scene. It
you're
doesn't
right.
matter.
Oh no, that's right.
No word has any
Programmable
meaning.
virtual
Yeah.
reality is what he
Yeah.
kept saying.
Yes.
And
As
like
if virtual realities.
not already.
Not
Right.
programmable?
Yeah, how do you
Yeah,
go
what
into an unprogrammed?
It's like saying it's a
virtual reality?
digital computer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
right.
like, yes, that's what it
They
is.
had
Yeah.
such an emphasis on those words as if it was like the worst sin to ever
To ever
befall.
use them.
Yeah.
Programmable virtual
Well, an abacus
reality.
is a
Yeah.
computer.
It's true.
It's not digital.
That was
Bob.
the turning point of our
For
history.
for a
It's
guy
when
that
an
lives in Las
abacus came
Vegas,
in.
he hates like modern shit.
hates it.
Yeah,
Hates
and
it.
whose house is in every movie that he makes, and it's
Yeah.
a nice house.
Yeah.
Like it's, I mean,
It's a realtor's house.
Yeah, it's like a
It
McMansion,
is.
but like,
it's
Yeah.
not a real
but like it's
Yeah.
lived in place.
it's like a nice, expensive looking house.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
living in the woods.
Right.
Like, fuck you, government.
Right.
No, he's not doing any of
if
that.
only he was.
I know.
that
You
would
think he
be.
just got like scammed over the internet once and was just like, goddamn hackers and fucking blah, blah, and the government couldn't
Like, he
help
bought
him.
something
He's
on
like,
eBay. It
"Ah."
didn't arrive. He's like,
Yeah.
well, that's it.
Yeah. But he's
I need
always
to make
play-
art.
You ran it, he has to
say
answer to
something.
me.
But he always plays a hacker, so when it didn't arrive, he's probably like, "Ha ha ha! Checkmate! You got me." Oh, I can learn from
So
this.
hackers have the power, do they? Right.
Break this computer.
Right. So the woman who does not a humanoid super person
right?
has an orb come
Float
out of her hand
Yeah,
and float to him.
Yeah.
And then
But
that's-
that wasn't like being projected from like a
I-
machine.
Like
No, no.
that was like a file. That was her like giving
But
him.
she's a
the folder
person.
of all the
Yeah.
information.
We
I
never see
know,
that
but
orb again.
No, we don't.
We don't understand what technology is in this world.
No.
No.
Really, I mean, you see computer screens and the floppy clear shit that's all stock.
He's
footage.
got the Minority Report.
I love
thing.
how many. There was like it's probably already happened at least once, but there's like 4 times where it cuts to that guy smiling while looking at the clear thing. And
Yeah. Oh
I
god.
fucking
Oh
love
my
that.
god!
It's like
and
some
every single time he was like, "What did he say?
Programmable
Pro
DNA.
DNA, artificial
Or
intelligence."
Yeah.
dude. Some of the scenes read like laundry lists. Like,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
just like, oh, they have to
yeah.
talk about these things, but then he never actually wrote sentences around them.
No,
He was
oh
just-
no.
People would just sit at a table and go, "Programmable DNA!" scream it at another
Yeah.
person, and they would look, "Oh,
Yeah.
Virtual reality infrastructure corporation.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. So after the orb scene,
Yeah.
what happens? 'Cause
Well, that scene, the one where the people are sitting around the table just screaming like
Yeah, all
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
buzzwords and
The
stuff.
The
Buzzwords,
worst
buzzwords.
cyber attack.
it's like the most
and
people in any
digital
scene
warfare.
too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The most
we've
like
ever seen. He puts more emphasis on the words and ever.
and everything.
That line also
More than anything else.
gets said like what 10 times
Yeah.
throughout the movie,
Yeah.
possibly.
What?
The biggest cyber and terror
Terrorist
attacks
attack.
Cyber
ever.
and terror.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like-
and terror.
And you're like, why does everybody say it this? 3 different characters say it like 4 times each, and they say it the same exact way. It's kind of hysterical.
So he's
There's even that one scene where you only sort of hear it in the background. It
Yeah,
still
right.
sounds like
Right.
that. And you're like, what is
Cyber
going
and
on?
terror.
is he working for like a government agency?
No one knows.
I think so.
Is that what that is?
He-
That
I think it's like a government agency or some sort of like, I don't know, military contractor or something
Yeah,
like
that
that.
knows that
I
he's
don't think he
in-
knows.
yeah.
I think he's
but
just
they know
like,
he's from space.
yeah.
I don't think
Is he
she
from
might just think
space?
he's a
Well, he got
workaholic.
abducted to space and made
I don't think
superhuman.
Space involved?
Yeah.
Well,
the power head.
Yeah.
God, sky
The
person.
skull
Yeah.
power.
What do you?
don't know what to say.
What do you
I know,
guys?
the
Wait.
skull
What do
floaty
you guys
God
not understand
Lord.
about this movie? It was very cut and dry.
I don't think anyone knows about that.
What do
No,
you-
his boss did though,
Did
because she said that. She said like
she made the
did?
floating
Yeah.
thing to him, and she did say the humanoid thing.
Yeah.
How'd she make the floaty thing?
I'm saying, I
hence
think it's just
my-
the
yeah,
world.
that's
we'll
what I
get
was-
to why it could just be the world.
Yeah, that's just
eventually.
world
Well,
building.
before we got, I thought
So, yeah, there's some deep lore.
yeah,
right
yeah.
after the-
a lot of show don't
the
tell.
Yeah.
conference
storytelling
scene
in
was,
this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just assume very close to the conference scene. There was a scene of him looking at the skulls.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah, he
The
goes to like a
skulls.
trying to keep track of all the weird.
natural history museum or something.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
This
Yeah,
movie
trying
is literally just a clip show of his subconscious.
Yes.
Yeah, trying
Yes.
to keep track of like the order in which all of the weird sort of abstract scenes where he's just like standing outside of a case of skulls and then holds his hand out and then a skull
A
goes
skull appears
in his hand
then
and then
ages.
and then
And
turns
ages.
like brown.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that kind of shit happens all throughout the movie because we haven't even talked about like the recurring scene of the eagle landing on the post that then
Oh my
he
God,
like
yeah,
superimposes
snuggles.
himself.
Oh,
He's
right.
like
That's at the
to-
beginning. We
Yeah,
forgot about
yeah.
that.
So, like keeping track of that, I think that we're gonna drive ourselves.
Oh,
crazy.
we'll never
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
we
Yeah,
We'll never do
never,
it.
No.
never, because there's no narrative like bearing on any of that aside from
Yeah.
what Neil Breen thinks there is.
Like
Like,
he straight
Well,
snuggles
he
a
wants to be David
repeated
Lynch.
gif of a bird. It's
And
amazing.
strokes the log it's sitting upon.
yeah, not the bird. You
Not
just
the
like
bird.
touch the log.
Yeah.
Um,
Neil
doesn't lean in
Breen, Neil
like
Breen
he's
is like
sniffing it.
an Adult Swim character who wants to be David Lynch. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what that
It's the
is.
best
definitely.
encapsulation.
Yeah.
I think that this movie. I think that he saw Twin Peaks: The Return and was
just did this?
and I think he
Yeah.
saw that and
Directly
he was
influenced.
like finally.
Or vice versa. Maybe Lynch was
Yeah, Lynch ripped
inspired.
off Neil Breen. But I think that he saw Twin
That'd be
Peaks.
amazing. He saw Double Down. He's like, I gotta bring Twin
Holy
Peaks.
shit.
back.
Sky is on another level.
Yeah.
But I think that he like saw that and was like, "Oh, finally! Like somebody else made something that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Now I can just go off the deep end and be like, yeah, I just put this in there because it means something, but you're the dumb one that doesn't understand it.
You idiot. You're not even a humanoid yet.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
you're not a
bulletproof.
being of light. I am.
He's bulletproof.
I'm a being of light and also a realtor. Okay, I know what I'm
Yeah.
talking
He's a fucking realtor.
I sell people land, space.
I sell people land and space.
Right. So I'm just gonna say that the next scene is him. After all this impressive shit he's done,
Yes.
is him walking on his cell phone like
Yep.
a doofus
Oh,
Yep.
God.
down a corridor at night
Yep.
on a college campus.
On a
Yeah.
college campus.
Is
No,
that-
it's during the day. It's the morning.
No.
No,
no, no.
Those were
What?
just like lights. The
No, we're talking about
Strong
when he
lights
bumps
with-
into the woman scene.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the morning.
No,
No.
it's
because he says I'll meet you back here at 8.
no,
yeah,
no.
no, that's why it's
No,
ridiculous. 'cause
yeah.
it's
It's the
definitely
sky is
nighttime.
dark.
then
It's dark.
Yeah.
Morning. Wait.
No, there's no morning time.
Matt, you're he's affecting you too much.
He did not
No,
have-
he's in your head, man.
He's not able to rent this section of the college campus during the daytime.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
was a day part.
No.
But it wasn't this.
It wasn't
Alright,
this. Yeah.
alright.
He was on his cell phone, like reading it, like he's just doop-a-doop-a-doo, just hanging out.
yeah.
There's a homeless guy, the rat
With his
man,
rats.
with his
With
rat.
his
His-
dollar
his
store
dollar
like
store
Halloween
plastic rats.
Yeah.
That he interacted with.
Yeah.
He was feeding them.
Which
Yeah.
I almost didn't notice until you screamed about it.
I
You
loved
were like,
it.
Look at those rats. And we were like, oh!
he's got rats.
They were like pitch black.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were just made out of
They're-
one like tire rubber rats.
Yeah. There were those like squeaky rats that you get at like
Yeah.
the dollar store like
Right.
in
Yeah.
Halloween.
So a woman
Best
with,
effects in his entire
woman
career.
holding like a
there
bunch
was
of.
a scene with her in an office before this, wasn't there?
No.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
pretty sure
I think
no.
you're right,
No, this
Matt, because I
yeah.
remember seeing her before this part
Yes.
But
too, and I thought, oh, it's the woman. She was on the board of people going cyber
She was
and
on the
terror.
board.
you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
She was in the
right.
scene we
Yeah,
talked about.
and she
That's
was
right.
like, "This is programmable
Right.
virtual reality. We're on the cusp." And then
on the cusp
Oh,
of
that one guy
virtuality,
goes, we have the
programmable computer
technology,
digital.
and he like, we have the hardware to defend it, and he like puts
Yeah.
gas masks on the table.
Right.
Like,
right,
What are
oh,
you
that's
doing?
What?
right, and programmable brains.
Yeah, they were sort of explaining that. Why I think that we were trying to set up here was that this programmable VR is like a way to like make you not see reality anymore.
Yeah. Well, and
Like,
have
it was
everybody's
gonna, like,
Yeah.
brain
everybody-
be connected.
Yeah, it was going to connect everybody's
Yeah.
brains and then make them not even be able to see
Which
reality.
his boss at
Which
the
is
end of
weird.
that was like, we'll be able to communicate telepathically. And all of a sudden, this incredibly angry gathering of people, I had no idea anymore what their bias was. Were they in favor of it?
Yeah,
Or were they like fighting against it?
It's like they just sort of knew about it.
And they were screaming about it.
Yeah, they were just screaming that it exists.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Anyway, he's on his cell phone. He bumps into a woman holding a bunch of papers.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude, them
Hey,
talking over
oh,
each
it's
other's
a mess.
insane.
And she's like, get away from me. I have a boyfriend. Get away from
Get
me.
away from
Give
me.
me my fucking papers. Get away from me.
Like, no. Meet me back here at 8.
Get away
She
from
goes, "You are a creep.
Yeah.
Leave
Leave
me
me alone."
alone."
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"No, we'll meet back here at 8.
I'll buy you a
Yeah.
drink. I'll buy you a drink. I'll take you out for dinner. I'll see you at 8, okay?
I'll see
Yeah.
you at 8. I'll see you at 8. He
Right.
says it like a dozen times. That was not a scripted moment. That
Oh,
was a
no.
random woman on the street, and this is how you deal with Neil Breen sightings.
Hey, do you want to act in a movie?
Get away from me, you creep. Get away.
Get away.
Get back. Hey. Clap at him like an animal.
With paper.
No.
I said sprays at him with paper. My brain got fucking scrambled.
You know what? You're part of the programmable
DNA, virtual
matrix,
reality.
I
Virtual
am a
reality.
humanoid.
Now,
You're now a digital person.
yeah. You're a humanoid now.
I'm a
You've
humanoid now. Oh man.
So doesn't he say something to the homeless guy? Like
no,
the
the
host
homeless
guy.
guy's just sitting there like one of us. He's
Right,
a
yeah,
representation of the audience.
He's
at this
the
point.
audience, right?
Just sitting there looking at him like, what?
It's happening.
He's like, we'll see when she comes if she comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Neil Breen
He was
tries
like,
to put
that
a coin.
woman was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
they
right.
both are like, "Gosh, she was beautiful," and
Yeah.
he's like, "Right."
Never mind that she just screamed at me and said,
She's
"Get
beautiful.
away from
Yeah,
me."
That her T cell count must be.
She was really aggressive.
Yeah.
T-cell count's
But
super
then my
Meanwhile, this like paper thin stick of a man is like, I wonder if she'll come meet me here at 8.
yeah, and then the guy he's like he says that, and then he goes to throw a coin into
And
the
he
homeless guy's cup,
misses!
and the super DNA AI humanoid fucking misses the cup and it falls on the ground. The guy's like, pick it up, and then like he even kind of looks at Neil Breen like, are we gonna like should we redo that?
Yeah, right,
And then
right,
Neil Breen
yeah.
just like do and walks off frame.
Yeah. Not
Oh my
very
God.
fast.
Yeah,
Not very
right.
fast.
He saunters.
Yeah.
It's such an easy shot to do again too.
Right.
It's like
this happens so many times.
so
There's
many
just so many
times.
moments where the actors have a look in their face where they're like, "Do you want to do that again?"
yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
I want to do that again.
Yeah.
No.
No, you miss in real life. He probably
Yeah.
just says that all the time. It would happen in real life like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then so Neil Breen comes back at 8:00. There's no, I don't think that there's probably
The
some
sky
bullshit.
is just as
He
pitch
probably
dark as
touched the
earlier.
fucking bird or looked at the
Yeah,
sun or
right,
some
right.
shit. Who
Some
cares?
weird, like,
it doesn't
you know,
matter.
Talk
Yeah.
to
stock
the-
footage
the
with him talking
Halloween
over it.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For a
right.
second.
Yeah.
Talk to his
And then he
dad.
comes back and he's like, it's 8:00 and she's not here. And then the homeless guy's like, hey, tough luck, man. And then Neil Breen walks away.
Gives him
him
another
more money.
coin.
Yeah, gives him another coin. And then
And he makes it in this time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
He does.
And then, like 2 seconds later, somebody wearing a black trench coat and black gloves walks by the homeless guy, and he holds out his cup, and he doesn't give him anything, and the homeless guy just kind of like glares at him. And then immediately after that,
Okay, I need to talk about this scene because it made my head explode.
you're talking about like
What's going to happen right now?
They're fucking. So the woman is walking through what is a pretty frightening parking lot that I certainly would never walk through.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And then Breen comes in. Sorry, no, Cade
Yeah,
Comes
Cade
in.
Voltaire.
steps out of a
Voltaire.
building.
steps out of a building, the same building that all scenes occur in, the Nevada State
Yeah.
College, and goes in ADR, pure inner monologue. There's that woman from earlier.
You didn't say it right though. He said,
Shit.
"There's that woman from earlier."
He doesn't say like fucking Batman.
No, he does. He's like real like, "There's that woman."
There's his. Tell me where it is. Oh my God.
And then he
God
goes,
damn it.
and then we see her again for a second. He goes, I'm gonna follow her.
Right.
This, meanwhile, is the guy up to this point where we think is the protagonist, is the good guy. And
Who's
she
like
walks,
sent from the who's been learned and trained in the
Right.
heavens.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna follow her.
Dude, the head god could be evil. We have no idea.
At this point, it's thrown into question for damn
Oh
sure.
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So she walks into her house and starts preparing something. But
dinner
then,
or something.
yeah, and then he like wanders up very like like the animated skeleton from the 1930s.
Like the Betty Boop cartoon.
Like comes like
And
strolling
he
up
might be
to
on a
the
green
door.
screen. We couldn't tell.
Couldn't
He's just,
tell
like,
if he's
being
on a green
moved.
screen or
Yeah.
not because he is a humanoid DNA strange creature and opens the door.
Just
and I think
opens
at
the door
this
to her
point I was
house.
screaming, "What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Is this
no,
a good
it's-
guy?"
Yeah.
And then she's. Does it continue? There's no break in this scene, right?
No. And then
it's just
they,
him creeping
Well, it's
with
the-
his
it's- he
Nosferatu
walks-
shadow.
Yeah, he
Yes.
walks down the steps and it's got
Right.
this insane long shadow of his arm, like reaching
Nosferatu,
down.
yeah.
Which they definitely
really
entered
weird.
at ground level. So we're
Yeah,
She's
why
supposed
did
to be
he
in the
go
basement or
upstairs?
something.
basement kitchen.
basement kitchen. Yeah.
They just
We're
wanted
sitting
the
in the
shot
basement kitchen right
right
now.
now, yeah,
Ooh.
which is still above ground. So
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, anyway, she's like back
Place,
turned,
yeah.
chopping at nothing he can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his shadow continues to loom.
Right.
And she turns around. What?
Oh.
And then his voiceovers continue. He's not actually speaking to her, but he goes, well, no, at this point he said out loud, bitch. And then
No, he
switches
says
back.
bitch eventually, like when they're on the couch. Like
Yeah.
the
You're
first thing
mine.
I think he
How
says, like,
dare you resist me?
Oh yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Dude, it's
How
disgusting.
how
I thought that
dare
it was going
you
to turn into just
walk
a,
away?
like a straight up rape scene.
It's a
Rape
fucking
scene.
rape
Yeah.
scene at this point.
Yeah.
And
My,
then,
no, my
like-
mouth was open. Like
We were-
my jaw was down. I was
just
like,
like, what's that?
again,
is Neil Breen going to rape a woman as the protagonist
this
of
is
this
the
movie?
protagonist. We're not,
Like,
we're,
not
we'll
okay.
not call him a good guy because
Yeah.
it's not been
No,
defined.
but protagonist means something
And
different.
so he's standing
Right.
on the other side of a couch, and she chooses to leap over the couch into his arms.
Yeah.
Yes.
To have the most outrageously
that
noodly
woman-
and gentle fight, like wrestle fight on
Right,
these
right.
cushions.
That
ever.
woman
while he has a
destroyed-
voiceover.
While he's having the voiceover.
yeah, where he's like, I'll hold you down, bitch. Don't
I'll hold
give
you
in.
down. You can't
Give
resist
in.
me now.
Yeah.
Give in.
give in. Oh
Bitch.
man,
Yeah.
Bitch.
And then
she grabs.
a
A painting that's just laying on the couch.
painting.
Oh my God.
Who doesn't have a painting just laying on their
Yeah.
a
couch?
painting that is just cloth too. By the way,
Right.
it does
Framed
not have a.
picture Certainly
with no
no
glass. With no
No
glass.
Certainly no
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
And then she smashes it over his head.
Which we didn't see coming at all.
Right.
No.
And then jumps back on him.
Yeah.
And then
Like
they start wrestling
full-
around. While
Use
there's
that opportunity to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Right.
Oh
She
yeah,
was
there's
like,
a glass breaking sound.
there's a
too.
glass breaking
Yeah.
sound constantly, so they're rolling around in
Continuously.
broken glass while this is happening.
Yeah.
I just want to establish that for when we talk about what happens next.
Well, but I love that for
God
at
damn
least
it.
a second, he is like draped in the rings and pieces of the remains of this picture
Yes.
while he's like continuing.
It was like
to
it was
wrestle.
like a Three Stooges cartoon,
Yeah.
or a Three Stooges like
Yeah.
short
Yeah,
where they
no.
like smash a painting over
and he
somebody's
seems
head.
to start like massaging her hips.
Yeah.
He's such an.
That I think
It's gross.
I think that Neil Breen is one of those like guys who puts wrestling scenes in his movie so that he can maybe accidentally touch a titty.
Yeah, maybe
Like,
his
Oh,
like
100%,
limp
dude,
dick
that's-
can just be like boop,
Yeah.
touch that butt cheek.
Oh.
And
He
she
has to
was
fill his
laughing
bank
the
bag.
whole time.
right.
She had a big smile.
Yeah,
on
they
her
they
face.
both seem like they were laughing about
Yeah.
it. Which then, like, it turns
Well,
out.
his voiceover continues for a second, and he goes, "You're mine now. Submit." And then she goes, "Mom called."
No, he goes, "What's for dinner?"
Yeah, and they
And
start
she-
laughing.
yeah, right,
She
they
goes,
start
"Oh,
laughing."
She's like, "Your favorite?" Oh, and okay, God damn it! If you just took the beginning of him walking down the street until she says the word "mom" and showed it to somebody, they'd be like, "This is a weird incest film you're watching."
Yeah.
Because the way
Yes.
she words it is super weird. She
Yeah.
goes, "Mom called," and he goes, "Well, tell mom hello," and kisses her on the forehead.
Chastely.
So okay,
Kisses her chastely
I actually-
on
I
the
has,
forehead.
I had to
Not
pause
romantic.
it
It was
because I had to go to the bathroom at
Yeah,
the scene.
and you left us with
yeah.
minutes
I
of
know.
staring at the
I'm sorry.
scene.
But
We were like,
I
"What
got
the
up and
fuck
I was
is
like, oh,
going
they're
on?"
obviously brother and sister. Like that was my instant assumption. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I gotta go to the bathroom. They're brother and sister.
Not
Done.
your mom called. Not my mom
No.
called. Mom
Mom.
called.
Yeah.
Because you don't
Tell mom I said hi.
It seems like in a movie that's would be like a brother and sister say,
and then a little. meh.
and they're
Peck on
they're
the
roughhousing like a brother and sister. It's
I don't
sort
know.
of.
Who I guess get into rape fans.
I
a brother and
know.
sister who are in a rape play, you know.
It's not, I'm not saying they're normal, but
Right,
it's just
no.
played off
Yeah.
like brother and sister to me.
Yeah.
We should not imply normalcy.
Right.
Oh
in
yeah.
any
It's
sense.
weird.
That's
Why
true.
involve-
That's true.
It's also that they involved, like I said, they involved that homeless guy in this weird little charade of,
Yes.
Right.
of like a fake rape scene.
Well, so
Yeah.
we
Home
should
in-
not
home invasion
we should not
encounter. You're like-
shame them for their weird ass incestuous.
Why'd they involve that
rape
homeless
Yeah, we need to
guy?
be sensitive to all the brothers and sisters who are listening right now who are also into rape
Exactly.
play. So,
Fair
Exactly.
enough. Fair
so
enough.
maybe we should move
Hey,
on.
if it's
Well,
consensual, do what you want, man.
As long as
all
you're doing
matters.
inside your home, not like following
Well, they did.
someone blocks,
I guess
involving
they did.
strangers in your weird
They
role
did involve
play.
the homeless guy into this.
He was
weird
like, "Hey,
play.
isn't she hot?" He's like made that guy be like sexualize her, so he could be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah,
Meet
I'm
me
gonna
at 8.
fucking
Meet me at
break
8.
into her house and follow her when she doesn't meet me later."
But to be
Meet me at
fair,
8.
people do like the
It's
whole
weird.
meet you at a bar thing and do like the whole role play
I
thing.
know,
So
I
that's
guess.
sort of
all right. But that's you're still at a bar. I don't know.
The,
It's just
the
weird.
problem is we don't actually have an answer for all of this at the end of the movie. We're like
like
kind
the
of
setup
get it.
didn't seem kinky. It was
It-
all.
It looks
wrong.
scary. It
And
looked
with
like
all
he
of
was-
his voiceover,
Yeah.
we had like legitimate thoughts that he had just like hypnotized this
Oh
woman.
yeah, we thought he
Yeah.
like
his
used his like
humanoid powers.
Yeah, we
and
thought he would've
suddenly
did
she
that.
has submitted and is some kind of like
God, I didn't even
brainwashed slave
think of
to
that.
him.
No, you
Oh,
left us
yeah.
sitting
Because
there.
if that's
for
true,
minutes,
that's a whole
Bob.
different
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were like,
That's
we were
a whole
like, wait,
different
did he
problem.
Use the purple.
That's like
tainted
roofies, but
VR?
magical.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were
That's not
heavily
okay.
considering
That's not
magical
okay at all.
roofies.
Oh boy.
So it's either magical roofies or just,
So
consensual
he could have
rape
broken
play.
into there and then like struggled with this woman and then like brainwashed her with his magic.
Because we know up to this point that he's some
powerful.
kind of magical
Yeah, yeah.
humanoid
Yeah, but
thing.
there's no limit
Holy
to his
God.
power.
Because he even said too, like, you will submit to me or something like that, and then they.
And then
stopped
she does. And
immediately.
she crosses her legs. That really bothered me. That while they were in
Oh,
that
man.
weird position, she just was like,
gonna
okay,
cross my legs."
crossing, like she
I almost
just
wish you didn't
casually crossed her legs.
Tell me that now that I'm thinking about it, it's like this makes this whole movie
yeah.
sick. It's really
This
sick.
part does.
Yeah. This.
Yeah.
Well, this is a through line through the movie. It's
Yeah.
him and her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, to be fair, what you just said, that the whole like mind warping thing, they kind of does play it off like they don't know each other when they bump into each other.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
So did he change her mind there with his power? Oh boy. Okay.
There
Because
was
she.
certainly no, like, you would assume if someone's getting into this kind of role play scenario, they would have some kind of, like, flirtatious
Right. Yeah.
But-
banter, but she was just like, get away from me. Get
You
my
know what?
boyfriend.
she's
Get
like,
away from me.
get away from me,
I've
I've
creep.
got a boyfriend.
Right.
You're a creep.
So I think I'm gonna give probably more credit than is due to what was trying to be like happen here is because
Neil Breen doesn't understand what it's actually like to have like a.
But I also think that I think that what he was going for was the fact that they work in the same building. This is what you find out
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
while later.
She
Right.
loves that.
And I think that they're supposed to not have a relationship with each other. I think it's supposed to be secret because there's the scene that follows this up where they get into the elevator together and they look like they don't know each other. And then it just quick cuts to the
To them.
elevator opening and they're kind of like fooling around, but then they like leave as
Right,
if they're
right.
like, so I think that like that was the point, was that they were not supposed to know each other. And so he was like trying to make a joke about that or trying to show that like outside at work they're supposed to be like separate, or like it even seemed as if she was
No, to give credence to give him credit to is I don't think Neil Breen knows what flirting is like.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
to him, he's trying to replicate something, and it comes off as like really dark and awful.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's like trying to do it in his head because he's never
Well,
experienced it.
it's like the
So,
scene. It's like
yeah.
the scene.
He's
in,
only been a human for the past 5
Right.
years.
Yeah,
and he's probably never touched another human being
Yeah.
intimately.
And,
so.
like,
That's why we startled
reptile-
the shit out of him when we met him.
yeah.
We reached for his hand and he was like, huh?
No,
Yeah. Reptile.
he's like Dark Phoenix, man. He'll just like
consensual
absorb you.
contact.
the mating rituals
Without
and,
my
like,
crystals.
and social mores of reptiles are very, very different.
right.
So,
We offended the fuck out of him.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
might have like really messed up those human-reptile relations.
Yeah.
I guess for anyone listening, you guys have met him.
Yeah, we did meet
we
him.
didn't. We didn't
have
mention
met
that.
him.
yeah.
You met him.
Yeah.
We met him at a screening of Fateful Findings
That's
in
amazing.
Philadelphia.
At Philomoka.
Yeah,
it was
it was
great.
awesome. His 8x10 is hanging over my desk, looking down on me every day when I draw. It's great.
Yeah.
I wish we were there.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
His hand felt like you would imagine, like
Yeah.
a little bit of thin leather stretched over bird bones.
Yeah, I was gonna say it felt like a bundle of sticks in like a doctor's glove.
Yes.
Oh no!
I know. I don't want to
Better.
jump ahead, but I would imagine it would feel kind of like ET's hand,
Yeah, right.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I will always be right here.
Right. Right. What happens after that? That we get the elevator sex thing happens.
Yeah,
So-
they are so in love, and their relationship is beautiful. It turns out.
Yeah.
So then they established that Neil Breen's twin, Kale.
His name is Kale.
His name's Kale, like the
Oh, he
vegetable that-
kidnaps those 3 guys.
He kidnaps these 3 guys that
Right.
he spends the entire movie just chained up and torturing and shooting over and over and over
Shooting them in
again.
their hands.
Shooting them in their hands and their
Yeah.
arms and their legs.
And then those
One
guys
of-
launched into insane exposition. Whoa, we embezzled from charities.
yeah.
And we use
Oh.
corporate money to they just
Yeah.
Well, first of all, one of them has the greatest mustache in the
I-
world.
Dude.
I mean, can we just not talk about the rest of the movie and just talk about this mustache for the whole entire rest of the podcast?
It's unthinkable.
It's fucking
It is
amazing.
unthinkable.
It's
outrageous.
literally like in Team America World Police when they make over the main character to
Yes.
look like a terrorist.
yeah.
If you condense that all into one mustache and put this in an actual movie, it is
God.
insanity. They put a piece of scotch tape over the
Duct
top
tape.
lip of this old man
Yeah.
and then drew a mustache onto it, but it's shiny scotch tape.
So
you can tell it's
shiny.
scotch tape the entire
It's
time.
super
It looks like it's
reflective.
soaking wet.
In a wide shot too.
Yes.
It's not just a close up of the guy's
Right.
face.
No.
It's like
there are close-ups though.
there are.
Oh, God.
But the wide shot, you can see the tape on his face. Like
Yes.
that's how bad it looks.
It's outrageous.
At the, in
Yes.
the wide shots, you could tell more that there was tape on his lip
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
that there was a mustache drawn on the tape.
Yes.
It was like insane because when it finally shows the mustache, you're like, that's just some squiggly brown
Which
line.
is
I think it should be noted that in the movie, there's other fake mustaches that are actual fake mustaches.
Right, but
They
I think
still look
Neil
awful.
Breen took the best one for himself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
easily. He
Yeah.
had one. He had
Yeah,
the budget for one.
But also-
It was also soaking wet looking.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
But I also want to point out, there's literally no reason for this man to have a mustache. At all.
none,
At all.
none.
It's not like
Because
well,
that
no, it's
mustache
because-
is a recurring character, but that man is not. A
Right,
Well, it's
recurring
because the actor
character.
played 2 parts.
No.
Not
No.
that one.
one
The
of
other
That's
one,
the
Matt
weirdest
pointed
thing,
that
not
out.
that
one the
Yeah,
other
no.
guy
The
that was
bald
chained
guy.
up, the bald guy.
Who was the lawyer that was gonna see Kale in jail forever?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
That
Shows
guy
up
plays a
later as a
detective.
different as a detective, and he's wearing what looks to be
The
same mustache. Like they peeled the scotch tape off
Not
of that
even
one
what
man's
looks to
lip.
be- I will bet
and
all
put
the
it-
money I have in my to my name. That is the same mustache.
Yes, and they just were like, "Hold on, man, hold on," and then they just put it on the guy next to him.
And then gave him a
Neil
fedora.
Breen licked the back of it. And
Yeah.
just pushed it on his lip.
It's not even
Probably
tape; it's a piece of
means-
paper that Neil Breen keeps licking, so it's translucent.
He probably, if he sees a smudge on his actors' faces, he probably licks his thumb and then
Yep.
rubs their face like
Yeah.
like a mother does.
Come
Sure. How much Neil Breen spit is passed around?
I don't know. I mean, by this
By
point,
his-
statistically, everyone in this room is covered in Neil Breen spit.
I mean, obviously.
yeah, because he probably licked the DVD. I touched that with my hands, and then I went and I touched each of your faces to say hello when I got here. So,
Face off style.
yeah, right, like
He
a
just-
face off.
He dips every disc in
Yeah.
just a pot of it.
a jar of his spit.
Ew.
It's just,
Yeah, it's Breen cured DVD.
it just has a vat of DNA. It's just,
Breen marinated.
Humanoid
Yeah.
DNA.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are we in this movie again?
So
Okay,
he's
so
kidnapped
they
the three
kidnapped the
guys.
guys.
yes.
And find out they're bad,
Yeah,
but
he's
he
chained
keeps
them up.
alive
They're
and
all
tortures
crappy businessmen.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're the worst.
And then is it this part where he takes his wife or girlfriend, I can't remember, on a date to what he says is a restaurant that he's rented for
Cade
them.
does. That was
Yeah,
Kale,
right.
the
Yeah,
twin with
Cade.
Keaton, and
Yeah.
we go back to Cade,
Yeah.
the fetish role playing rapist
Right.
husband.
Yeah, main character,
What?
hero, protagonist, DNA, AI, humanoid.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hacker.
Oh yeah, right.
Hacker, superhuman.
Superhero, action hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bomb expert.
Problem. God
Mom
damn it.
experts. He brings him to the quad.
The quad at the school
Yeah.
and is just like, I rented out
an entire
the
restaurant
entire
for
restaurant
you.
just for
Yeah.
us. And then
a bunch of horrible metal picnic tables.
Right, yeah.
Look like it's in
No
out front of the Brown
tablecloths.
Center in Micah.
yeah, right. It's the kind of like chairs that like you sit in them for too long and then you stand up and then your ass has like a pattern in
Yep.
it, like
Yeah.
from like
God.
the grating.
Yeah.
And then they're like sitting there.
I got a
and-
present for you.
Yeah.
Well,
then
before that, he's
before
like,
he's that-
"This is
that-
the best restaurant
Oh,
in town."
he's like, this is the best
I've
restaurant in town.
rented out the whole place, and she's looking at him like, "What the fuck?"
No, she's like, really? Like, wow.
But yeah.
And
He
then
says it's inevitable, right, or something. What does he say? He says some word. He's like,
It's
I don't know.
invincible.
"It's invincible."
Yeah,
And they both start laughing.
It's just he says the only thing is they're friggin' invisible, and
Yeah.
that's his big
'Cause he's
joke.
talking about the
I thought he
servers
said
and the
invincible.
His-
No,
I was like,
invisible.
what is he
His
having a
big
stroke?
The joke is that he didn't take her to a restaurant. He took her to the
So-
quad.
As a fucking
And
thing.
his consolation prize is a fucking votive candle.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have a present for you. A candle. Thank you so much. Is like word for word.
And
what
then
says.
he
And then
lights it
right
and
then and
she
there.
like touches his shoulder and says, "What?
Like,
forever
now,
and eternal.
forever
Yeah.
and eternal."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because she's that devoted to him.
That would
After
be
he
an
brainwashed her.
infuriating date.
Yeah.
Just to like put this out there, if you brought me to the quad and said instead of having dinner, we're gonna play pretend in an invisible place
Here's the
with
candle.
a bunch of metal tables and gave me a votive candle,
That you
Well,
lit
I
right
guess
there, which
I
makes,
gotta-
makes it not a gift.
we're
It's not.
Here's this
Sounds-
candle I wanted you to have and light it. And
Sounds
just,
like I gotta replan our 2-year anniversary here.
shit.
I found some really nice shiny aluminum tables. I
Yeah.
thought we could sit
Yeah,
by.
I was
but
just gonna
all
give
right.
you a pile of neat-looking
Dude,
rocks that I found on the ground.
It's a magical day.
Jimmy already got tickets to Nevada to do it right at that table.
Yeah,
Like,
Damn
yeah.
it.
I know,
yes.
I know how much of a Breen head you are, so I wanted to take you on the Neil Breen walking tour.
just don't rent the house, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a
Real-
painting for her to smash in your head.
Oh my god.
God damn
Only
it.
if we can drop a bunch of like broken mirror pieces.
Yeah, on the
all over
ground.
the place where we
Jimmy
walk.
gets a bunch of giant JPEGs printed out so he can like walk from a magic
Yeah.
tree towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm
believe it.
replanning that. Time to find something else to do.
Oh God.
burn all those giant JPEGs, I guess.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
I guess I won't touch this eagle freeze frame.
Yeah.
For you.
Oh, man, I wanted
I
to
taught
touch
an
that
eagle how to
creepy.
bob. It just sits there and it bounces. That was a waste of time, I guess. It's a real
You hired
eagle.
people to rig it so you can jump up to a building window.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
you
well.
really put a lot into this.
I
Yeah,
know.
well,
I know.
yeah,
Well,
love is love.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think after this, he goes on his mission to
He,
the.
like, sneaks into
The laboratory.
Oh, wait,
The lab.
wait. I think did we meet
Coos?
Coos.
Not yet.
Oh no, man! I was like, it's a noise. It's like a noise. That
I mean,
never
Coos
made-
is the best
Zoinks.
character.
Yeah.
Coos is my-
But we haven't met him.
Coos is
yet.
my
Okay.
favorite character
He
to
comes
ever
in-
show up in a Neil Breen movie ever.
Incredible.
Ever. I love him so much. He's my
the only-
favorite.
Great.
But
Well, the
we're
only-
not going to talk about
Okay,
him yet
fine.
because
No.
he doesn't show up.
He doesn't show up
yet.
yet.
God,
Next, I
great,
think,
though.
is the laboratory.
Yeah, he goes to the laboratory, and by the laboratory we mean the lab at the college.
school.
like the computer
It
science.
actually
lab.
has like the
Yeah.
syllabus on the outside of the door.
Yeah,
Lab.
it has the schedule
Right.
on the outside of the
220.
door. It has the table of elements printed everywhere, because all of those
Yeah.
high-paid super scientists forget that shit all the time.
What is gold?
Oh, boron. Oh,
Oh, shit.
oh, okay.
And I almost killed us all.
Right.
And he's sneaking around.
This also has the shot of the computer lab too.
Yes,
Yeah.
the,
The
first
first-
of
the
many.
first
The
shot.
first of many
Many,
shots
many.
of the computer
Because
lab.
Because you know what? And now I think about it, which you guys said he had the double down problem, and now he has a room filled with screens that are turned on.
Yeah.
He's like, my
And he does
God.
not.
Yeah.
He's not hold it back.
And he's not allowed to break a
No.
single one.
No.
He's not allowed to dump his coffee on a single
Yeah.
one.
Or his plate of loose spinach cannot do it. Not
He could have
allowed.
ate some tuna.
Yeah.
Could've.
Yeah.
Man, this
yeah.
is a real low effort film.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel
man,
like
yeah.
I feel like he didn't try as hard on this one.
There's so much green
feel like-
screen. It's like crazy.
I feel like he
Yeah.
simultaneously didn't try as hard, but also tried the hardest he's ever tried with this movie.
Yes.
I think that he thought that this would be his this will
He's like,
prove
fucking
him wrong.
man, Endgame is a bunch of people standing in a room with computers. I can do that shit. Fuck it, man.
I think that he thought
Video
though
blocks.
right, this is gonna prove him wrong. I'm gonna prove to everybody that I'm as much of a talent as David Lynch or something
Yeah.
like that.
No, I really think so. You're
Because
right.
there's
Yeah.
scenes in the like in the movie that happened later on, like that red room with the number 23 with the lady that
Right.
opens the door and then it
Yes.
cuts to that like
So David
stock
Lynch,
footage
yeah.
of that
Very,
like
very much
sexy
so.
lady. Like
And then it cuts to the temple door, like
right, yeah,
right.
like that kind of stuff.
Oh God, yeah, that shot of the door.
We're jumping.
Yeah.
I'm jumping
I
way
know,
fucking
yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
but whatever. Yeah.
but like
It doesn't connect to anything
doesn't
though,
matter,
so
right.
literally
Who
you could
cares?
pick that scene up and put it anywhere
Yeah.
and it would have the same effect.
yeah,
Right.
and like that kind of thing, it seems as if he was like, yeah, David Lynch could do something like this. And you look at it and you're like, yeah, David Lynch could do something like this, but
Yeah.
it would like fit better. And there,
well, David Lynch also has a budget
right,
and actors that
Yeah.
are acting.
Cinematographer.
Yeah.
Cinematographer. Yeah.
A sense of composition.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything.
But it like I think that this one I think he poured a lot into this, and that's why.
No, the script for him is big.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think,
why I
yeah.
think that it's the most jumbled, hard to understand movie.
Your eyes gonna roll.
But
halfway
Andrea,
around
like
the
from
world.
his perspective, it's probably true.
I know, but I don't know. This one delivered though at the same time. I feel like the least length of manifesto that his others have.
Oh, definitely.
He's
Yeah,
taken
you're
much
right.
longer and much more like focused soapbox stances in the past.
He literally stands on one in Fateful Findings.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
Like he's just talking
no,
to the world.
he
Yeah.
stands at a podium.
in this one,
I've taken out the
Podium.
corporations. It's
right.
done.
No,
yeah.
this one was just like half-assed prose, which is me giving it a lot of license.
Honestly, he seemed more interested in the relationship stuff.
Yeah.
I
than
was
he
gonna
did
say
with the
whole
government.
Movie,
Yeah.
like aside from certain longer scenes of talking, the whole movie seems like that. Like it's a
Yeah.
visual poem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not.
Yes.
I know what I just said.
Dude,
I
you just
know,
gave Neil Breen his pull quote for when he releases
Yes,
the
you
DVD
did.
Yes.
with a DVD
Matt
cover and
Pierre,
not just in a jewel
bonus
case.
Like a visual poem. Mappy, bro. It's so good.
God damn it.
Like you wouldn't want that?
That's be great, but I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there was also a point where I was like, did he like watch Upstream Color or
Yeah,
something?
right,
Like, what is
exactly.
going on
He
with
watched
some
I
of
Know
these
Who
shots?
Killed Me.
Lindsay Lohan movie.
Yeah.
He was like red and blue.
Yeah.
I love
Red
that
and
movie.
blue.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
I
hilarious.
Love, I know
It's
who
fun.
killed me.
Okay.
I
It's a lot
love
of
that.
fun.
It's
Great.
It's actually
We
a lot
need
of
to talk
fun.
about this movie.
I know.
Can we not? Can we just like? Can we just keep like having fun and not talking about this?
It's so hard.
I honestly like fucking hated this movie. Like real talk, I think this is my least favorite Breen movie. I've
Really?
ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad,
Which-
man. I mean, it's like.
I haven't seen as many as you have.
Yeah, you've
But-
only seen.
Everyone else has seen all of them.
I've never
Yeah.
seen Double Down. I've only ever seen it like
Really? So
condensed down.
me
into
and
sort of,
Matt
like,
have seen every
I've seen
Neil
all
Breen movie
of
at this
them.
point.
Okay,
So-
how does this one rank?
I mean, number one is Fateful Findings,
Yeah,
without a doubt. For me,
easily.
number two is I Am Here Now.
Yes.
God, yeah, that's really
And
funny. I
the-
mean, I don't know.
I Am Here Now is like
Double Down made me laugh so goddamn
I
hard,
know.
though. Like, there was just parts
I'm
I wasn't
ranking
ready
mine,
for,
but
and I
yeah.
was like, my God, this is amazing.
a Double Down would be 3 for me,
Okay.
and then it would be probably Pass Through, and then this. This would probably be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. Pass Through is pretty goddamn boring. Honestly.
I'd have to watch Pass Through again. I almost don't remember. it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But
it
I
either.
remember
It was-
stuff from Fateful Findings and Double Down and I'm Here Now
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Like
I'm
that
here now.
sticks with me.
When the lady walks by the guy in the wheelchair, the old man
Oh,
in the wheelchair, and the baby drops his pacifier, and he picks it
Incredible.
up. So Neil Breen like grants him youth
Yeah.
once more and turns him into a handsome man.
Oh, you're a good man.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm Here Now has the gang scenes.
Yes,
they're
the gang
best.
scenes
The
are the
gang
best.
fight scenes are incredible.
Yes.
They are so beautiful.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. They're
Yeah,
just
very good.
genius.
Yeah. There you go. There's his other one for the official
The
DVD.
gang scenes
Yeah.
are so beautiful. They are. It's genius.
Genius.
Bob
Bob Rose
Rose.
bonus thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it's been
Lordy
an hour.
How far have we gotten?
Not very.
Oh my god, we're
and
like
the-
an eighth of the way through.
like
this
10 minutes into the
fucking
movie.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Oh, we're doing really, really
God.
bad.
Oh, we're doing terrible.
What was the last thing we did?
We weren't even talking about the
He's
movie
in
when
the
that
lab.
went on.
I know, dude.
He's. Oh my god. Oh my god.
it's so incomprehensible.
Yeah.
He's puttering around the lab and then
Oh,
he
yes.
leaves.
And yeah, he doesn't do
And
anything.
He
basically
doesn't do
just-
anything.
he
That's
doesn't
why
do
I
a
was
goddamn
confused
thing.
by this
Yeah.
movie. There
Yeah.
was like points where I was like, wait, what was that about?
Yeah.
I think
And
we
then
could
it's like-
safely fast forward to Coos,
Yes.
right?
I would
Because
say
I don't
so.
know what the fuck happens in between. then
I'd have to
Coos'
do that
appearance.
because
I don't
I don't have
remember.
any knowledge
I
of
don't
what
either.
I
happened.
don't
between
remember. I mean,
so
there,
it
there were
doesn't-
some things that like happened. I think at this point that I think just bear mentioning the number one in my mind being the fact that they established that there's 2 moons in this movie.
Oh.
No. I don't know if they established it so much as Breen is just that fucking incompetent that he was,
I was
like,
actually
layer that moon over
Yeah.
the moon.
I honestly was
Really?
thinking that eventually. Where I was like, I was like, man, that's really cool that he put 2 moons in there to be like, oh, it's not on Earth. That's why there's the fairy person and all that shit. And I was like, oh, this is kind of a... And then I eventually was like, you know what? He actually probably used 2 different layers of things, and they both had moons.
They both had moons in
And
it.
he just was like, that one's over the other one. It won't show up, and
I'm
it did.
sure
I think that was a choice. I think that was a choice.
Because I think we can all safely say he does one pass of everything.
Yes.
It's one
fuck
pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like when I do something and it's
It's done.
final,
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
I don't waste time with my life.
it is
There's no
a
way to
choice,
go back.
as you
Yeah.
say.
I will.
Like with editing, the
I
idea that you
destroyed
can't
the
fix
Z
anything.
button on my keyboard. There's no undoing.
Maybe
Imagine if you
John-
guys illustrated something, it was just the first pass and you just threw it out
I
there.
mean, that's
Like,
what we do
what
all
it
the
is.
time.
That's
because
what
we
we're talking about.
are-
That's what I do. That's why my good drawings are as good as his movies.
And they all have 2 moons.
Yeah, right.
First
Right.
pass.
I think
only.
that was a choice. And
Really?
I think that later on in the movie, when
So
there
we
was,
got choice, mistake, and I'm like in the middle.
I think it was a choice,
So,
and I
yeah.
think that later on in the movie, when we see that there's only one moon,
yeah.
that wasn't a choice. That was a mistake.
Like he forgot to add the second moon.
Fuck, I forgot that second
Oh
moon.
fuck! I forgot that.
Holy
Has lost
shit, dude.
all credibility
What if-
with the
what-
exclusion of that second movie.
Yeah, I know.
What if this is like Inception?
Oh my
And
god.
we just cracked the code that the moon is the secret, and that's how you can
Oh.
tell that when they see the
When they're in the
moon at
dream
end,
world versus when they're in the real
world.
world. Yeah.
the virtual augmented DNA reality, or the
Or
all right, I'm done.
or the metahuman hacker
Yeah.
digital computer reality
yeah, exactly.
that the corporations are trying to destroy with all their telecom communication satellites. Yeah.
Dude, their greed.
Cyber and terror.
Let's talk about what's his name?
Coos,
Cruz.
Cruz.
What did you say earlier?
Gaz. I don't
Gas.
know.
Well, I think that I would remember the name easier if I didn't see the way that it was spelled at the end of the movie, because that has me second guessing
It's
everything.
COO
SX.
SX.
No,
No,
ZX.
it was
ZX.
I
It was
apologize.
It had like
Cruz.
3 Z's or 3 X's
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
It
So
was
that's like-
weird.
that's
It was
throwing me off.
COOZZX.
But it's spelled. It's pronounced coos like koozie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing we see of him is a hand
Fuck.
reaching into
yes.
a like silver basket of
A
as you say,
carafe of diamonds.
Yeah, of,
It's like a weird
Michael's
fancy
plastic
gravy boat of
diamonds.
diamonds.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
And just starts
It's like Pier 1 imports
Yeah.
shit. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
awesome.
It really is.
Straight up.
So
It's
good.
the most like sexual scene of the movie. Is when he's like fucking fondling. He is just violating these gems.
Yeah. While
And it's
wearing a
got
gem on his
Oh
finger.
yeah,
Yeah, he
while
had a
wearing one on
big-
his finger.
Yeah.
And then we see the reveal of whose hand this
Right.
belongs to.
Yeah. He looks like somebody going through chemo who's dressed up as a Halloween pimp.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect description of him.
Who has
Exactly.
Yeah,
what he
it's
looks
good.
like.
He's this like weird hairless man with a wide brimmed hat and like
I was gonna
red
say
shades.
he looked like Larry
Bright
David if he
orange
was on
fucking
Mama's
shades.
Family as a cross-dresser.
Yes, I can also see
Lord.
that too. But
Because he's wearing a big scarf.
he's wearing a
which
big
is
scarf.
extremely important. to
Oh
Sorry.
my
Yeah.
the
God.
big purple scarf.
yes,
And
yes.
there are in front of him on the table these 3
Cat
like
statues.
dollar store
I
like
love them.
finds of spotted cat statues.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was just something that was left on the table haphazardly.
Of course.
Right.
Yep.
No,
Of
they are a
course.
Which
key-
makes me think the moons might mean something now, because you think this shit doesn't mean anything, and then it's like,
See?
oh, the cat statue.
But they
It's art.
animate and they like
Yeah.
react to his voice.
Yeah, it's art, man.
They
But it doesn't like,
like, break the
dissolve
fourth
to them
wall.
having looking
Yes.
at you basically.
yeah, they start
Yes.
rotating.
And his scarf changes color. or
Yeah.
His scarf
whatever.
changes color with a
changes
freeze
scarf.
frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and his
And then it-
voice is
Oh my god.
Well, he doesn't. Does he talk in the first scene? I
Oh,
can't remember.
Cruz. Yeah, he
Yeah.
answers the
Oh,
It's
phone
on the
call.
that's right. He
phone
answers
call.
the phone call and he's like, "Yes, this is Coos. Oh, I hear that you're interested in my special artwork."
His
My
voice is
special
pitch shifted
artwork.
down.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
pitch shifted down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He He sounds ridiculous.
It's so awesome.
And I guess we
love
find
it.
out that the person who is interested in his special artwork is Cade.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, his
Kuz
boss
is
is
trying
like,
to
I
do
got-
something, though. He's trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Here we go.
I think what happens is Kuz. There's a scene where they're showing the first time they show that like stock footage of like a factory. I think they're explaining that like the corporations are buying up all of like the basically like the means to live, like power and water and everything, so that they can dispense this plan.
Yeah.
With the VR,
They're trying to.
So he's like
Wowza.
Judge Doom buying up all of Toontown type of thing?
Kind of, yeah. Like
so
he,
can
like
he can
he's
destroy
like
it.
trying to
Kinda looks like
own
him.
everything.
Kinda does look
that
like
people
Judge
need
Doom.
to
Looks like him.
live, so that when he wants to implement this thing, he can just like force it on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're
Okay.
because
where you won't have a choice because like everything comes from him.
yeah, Kuz
I don't know
Kuz
how
is
you
trying
got that.
to. No,
'cause I didn't
this
get
is
any
this
of
is
that.
really what's
Yeah.
happening. All right, this is really what's happening. Is that Kuz is trying to take over like necessities that people need in order to infect them with this virus, so that all human brains are connected and that they're all manipulated, like easy to manipulate. Yeah. And so
Are you
people-
no bullshit? Or
I'm
are you
not-
saying
no,
this
I'm
like
saying this real.
You're like
I'm saying-
assuredly
I'm not
saying
lying.
this.
I feel like
Okay.
there was like
No.
one
Okay.
line of exposition
Yes.
that kind of got it
Yeah,
across,
yeah.
but it
Yeah,
like
this
just
is-
kind of blows by.
You might not be able to tell, but this is a thinking man's movie. So
This side of the table, our T cell count super,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
super
sorry, yeah.
reinforced.
Yeah.
Rob and I don't know shit about shit.
We're getting old too. Our T cells are low.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
You can't
so
make prime super babies.
so
Prime
so
Super-
what's his name? Kale? No,
Cade.
Cade.
Kale is the
You
best.
can't remember his name, but you remember all the plot.
Yeah, come on. This is easy stuff. So I think that they've established that they know that he is the guy who's in charge of the like AI super virus, whatever. Kuz. And so they're going to send Kale to do espionage by going and looking
Kale
at
or Cade?
Yeah, oh my God.
Cade.
Get it fucking
Cade.
right.
Cade.
We haven't even talked about Kale's
That's because all Kale
storyline.
does is do drugs and slap a woman
and shoot these three men until
And get slapped back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't
But-
really do
slaps it
anything.
back,
So
too.
yeah,
Like,
Cade's
his
going
life's
there.
a mess.
Cade's going.
Can he fly? Like, okay.
No.
He
He
can't.
doesn't have any power.
He didn't get any
No.
power.
He just shoots
Whoa.
people.
Yeah.
He
He
does.
does drugs and beats.
And he acts all self-righteous.
That's a superpower.
I didn't even think about
That's
that.
a superpower.
Yeah, never
Doesn't have any
do
powers.
anything.
Yeah.
He didn't get anything from the Godhead.
No.
Huh.
That's so dumb.
Anyway,
okay, go ahead.
Cade's going to talk to Kuz as a spy because he goes
Yeah,
there
yeah.
to look at the artwork, which is just
Right.
an empty.
Special artwork.
Which is let's just talk about before he shows up. Kuz. Why the fuck are there so many like cool names in this movie? Kuz is just chilling by his pool,
my God.
fondling his
Oh.
like
so dark.
his goblet of Michael's
Yeah, he always has
acrylic
these
gems.
on.
And there's like a cloud of like sparkly
Right.
dust where stripper fairy just materializes.
She is seriously wearing like some of the worst clothes I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah,
She's
definitely.
like
She
a-
looks
they're
actively
like-
uncomfortable to
Yeah.
be in
Yes.
this movie.
and they're like horrible chrome gold like platforms studded
With
spiked
spikes.
shoes.
Yes.
Like a camel like flesh colored wrap with a horrible like Renaissance looking goddamn weave on the fly. And then a like bikini top that looks like it's 5 sizes too small because there's both underside and bottom
Yep.
boob
I
coming
mean,
out of that.
you got to get the big three.
All 3. Check them all off. And then the like I don't know. She's wearing 5 different fairy wings on her back.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
And, but the best part is,
unconscionable
oh yes, no, it
how
totally
this
is.
woman
That's
is costumed and what role she fucking plays.
That's-
Why
yeah.
is there a fairy that works with this supervillain?
I don't know, man. She
Like,
doesn't
if
do
you want to talk
anything.
about the male gaze in movies, this woman doesn't speak. She appears out of nowhere, and
Well-
she's only to be stared at.
And
It's
she's
just
just called
it's
the
like-
Muse, and
yeah,
that's it.
it's
too.
like-
It's just called the muse,
Yeah.
the winged muse.
yeah,
is
right.
her
Which
credit.
you find out during the credits.
And so why
Yeah.
is she? I don't. Is
She's
is
there because
Kuz like a patron of the arts?
I was hoping that when
I don't know.
I
don't know.
He loves
Cool.
art and he loves DNA, AI, virtual reality, programmable humanoid.
And the
Humanoid.
winged muse is on his
Space
side.
boys. Yeah.
This movie
It's like-
made so little sense. It crushed my hope of anything cool happening
Yeah.
at all. So I never brought it up. But I thought like this movie before we watched it. I thought it would be like him and his brother teaming up to like do what he does.
Yeah.
You would hope that.
Yeah, and that when they introduced this fairy, I was like, oh my god, he's got like a henchman. Because she was like big looking, like she was tall.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, okay, maybe that's like they're gonna have to fight this fairy at the end. I was
Or
like, that'll
no,
never happen.
yeah.
As soon as, like,
Because you introduce the henchman,
dissipated
right.
Yeah,
instantly.
yeah.
Because I was like, there's no
Like-
fucking way anything cool like that.
In an
happened.
action movie, he would infiltrate it at the end, and she would be like the big
Yeah.
dude he has to go through
Right. Yeah.
to finish the job.
The
Yeah.
semi-boss.
Which would've been
But no, she's there just
The
to be
mini-boss.
a woman dressed scantily
Well,
clad.
Or
the worst.
So that's the first we see of her. I'm skipping ahead a little bit because again, there's another scene that could have been inserted fucking anywhere in this movie.
Right.
A lot of other things happen, and then suddenly we see the winged muse again in Neil Breen's home entertainment center.
That's the end of the movie when that happens.
It's not the very end.
But that's like you're skipping all the way to like
It's
That's within the
matter
last,
No,
wait.
it doesn't really matter.
it doesn't
'cause
matter.
because
It's just a shot that doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
it
the
doesn't
ultraviolet
fucking
shot.
Matter.
Oh my god.
Where we see ultraviolet frame
The movie
framed poster.
Ultraviolet.
That
The
had-
poster, yeah.
That has to be Neil Breen's home theater,
It
right?
absolutely
Must
is,
be. It must be.
100%.
Dude, Neil Breen has a framed ultraviolet
Yeah.
poster.
And it's
That
one of-
is
it's in one of-
fucking madness.
It's-
That's crazy.
It's in one of those frames too that like I looked and you see that there's a power cord running down from it and it's
Oh,
unplugged,
lights.
so
It's definitely
it's to
under
light
lights.
up. So he
Yep.
spent money to get that framed because those things
the
aren't
fact
cheap.
that he loves ultraviolet
Yeah,
is the
and
greatest
so
thing
the
that
Finding
happened.
Dory.
appears and Finding Dory.
Finding
yes.
Dory was the other.
Yeah.
So
And the
crazy.
muse,
So
the
good.
winged muse, comes through and like touches her hand towards the big movie screen.
Right.
And what is it? Pass-through
Pass-through
starts playing.
plays.
So the winged muse
She's
we
a
are
fan.
to interpret is just a Neil Breen fan.
She's a fan.
that is
Choose
like
the
pointing
muse.
to
His
how
other
enlightened Neil Breen
Breen
is.
is.
Yeah.
And then she disappears and leaves behind her horrid shoes
Yeah.
full of those
Diamonds.
like
Yeah, full of
acrylic
diamonds.
gems.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's like the most, I think, non sequitur thing for anything else going on in this movie.
Yeah, it is really, really weird that like they acknowledge that Neil Breen makes other movies. So like, is
It's
this
so
Right. Because what was on that
weird.
screen?
It was
in the
weird.
reality of this movie, there's two men walking around that look exactly like the guy on the
Right.
screen.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
What in the fuck is going on?
Maybe
Right.
all
That
his
was
movies
him
are
breaking
connected.
the fourth wall and saying,
Well,
like, just
They're
this whole
movies in
movie.
this movie.
Yeah.
Like past through all of his movies, I'm just gonna say are movies in the reality of what is this called again? Twisted Pair.
Twisted Pair.
God, yeah.
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 Which they don't even behave like a pair, like you were
No, they-
saying,
oh, yeah.
Matt.
No,
like,
they don't ever team
No,
up.
no.
No,
Team up.
but their
They're
stories just
barely in the movie.
they just happen
He's
parallel
just
to
a
one another.
flexo version. He's like he's a
Yeah,
evil,
exactly.
shitty version of himself.
Yeah, right. And yeah, all he does is just argue with his girlfriend and they smack each other around. And I love
With
when
the
they
best sound
when they
effects.
smack
God,
each
those-
other, they put a sound effect over that and stop all other sounds. So it's literally just like a stock smack sound effect,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
sounds pick up like a split second later.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Gadoosh.
Yeah.
That first
Wow.
one was so unexpected.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Well, I also
When he slaps too, it's like there's no contact. It's like
No,
he just
no.
Yeah.
puts his hand to her face
Yeah.
and then gadoosh.
Well, but
He
also
knocks down wine bottles on the path his hand takes to her
yeah,
face.
a lot of knocking
Yeah.
over wine in this movie.
Yeah, there
he,
is.
he
Yeah.
replaced breaking up, Goodwill computers with knocking over wine.
Wine bottles that have the same labels but different colored liquid
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
He just put dye in it.
And you,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
then he gets special art from Kuz, and it's an empty frame that he's caressing. really
that grows
uncomfortably.
art inside of it of
Yeah.
a woman with a painted face.
It shows
Yeah.
basically like another stock GIF of
Yeah.
a woman with
Yeah.
body art, like
Yeah.
looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Right.
And what the fuck does that
Oh, the
have to do with
muse-
anything?
This is where like just
the
so
muse
weird.
like tries to fix it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like one of these like shouldn't we just retake this
Right.
scene
Yeah.
like moments where she goes to do something and then he realizes he
Right.
should have done it and then they do it
Yeah.
and then they're just staring at each other and you're like, why is this not cut?
Yeah.
Right,
He
right.
gives her a look as if to say that she's gonna get yelled at as soon as the camera.
movie.
You ruined my movie.
I'm the digital humanoid, not you.
But also just pointing out another instance where like they did a bad take, and then you see the evidence of that was when he's smacking his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
The first time he smacks her, it's just clear that there's no contact.
His hand is like 3 feet
and
away
she
from
like,
Oh
but
my
she
God,
still reacts
so far.
and then she goes, "Damn it!"
And there's no sound
There's
effect.
no sound
There's no
effect.
sound
There's no
effect,
sound
too.
effect.
And then they do it again, and he smacks her, and then she fucking like falls
Falls
back,
off the bed.
and then
Falls
just
out of the
slides off the bed like a seal sliding into the water. Like,
as if she's having fun. Like,
yeah,
wee.
yeah.
God damn. And that's, I mean, like, they eventually say goodbye in the end, him and his brother, but they don't. That's the end of his story, the Kale story.
Kind of. Well, I mean, yeah, because
He doesn't really do much else.
throughout the movie,
Do
he just
anything.
he torments those like 3 businessmen.
He shoots the
And
businessman
then
in
there's
the
that
arms.
detective who like he remember
Yeah, there's a
God
detective.
damn.
when like it just cuts to him shooting 2 men in the back of the head on a set of stairs, and you were like, "Good God!"
Yeah.
Fucking brutal. He's just like bat bat, and he leaves. He picks up the shell casings, but then he
Kale
drops
does,
like
yeah.
a bloody drug needle.
Yeah.
and then that detective's like trying to like figure out whose blood it is, and
Yeah.
he can't because what do you mean it's not human DNA?
And that story definitely doesn't conclude.
No.
Nope,
Well, I think-
that doesn't go
No,
anywhere.
it does
No.
not.
I have a theory that I think that Neil Breen is so used to writing just like a morally good, in his eyes, like character for himself,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he
yeah.
named this movie Twisted Pair, was like, it's about twins, and then forgot that it was about twins halfway right through writing the movie, and just wrote it about this
Oh,
one
this Kane
character.
is really interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And then he was like, "Oh fuck, wait, this doesn't make any sense. It's called Twisted Pair, and I forgot to put the twin brother in there." And then he added this B story that makes no sense and has
No.
no connections
No
whatsoever.
connection.
And he
Well,
was
oddly,
like,
I like the B story more. I'd
Oh,
rather watch
yeah.
that.
I'd
movie.
Oh, I
Dude,
would love to watch them do drugs and slap each other for
Dude,
hours.
yes,
That'd be great.
yes.
And
Just
it
be
sticks
fucking
to,
gross and disgusting.
Yeah, it sticks to a classic Neil Breen like theme of like I'm on a soapbox. You have been exploiting humans.
yeah.
I'm gonna kill you all. So at least it's familiar.
Yeah.
We can sink
Right.
our teeth into that one a little bit more.
But
Whereas
even-
this other one, it's like I'm a humanoid buying special art. It doesn't make any.
Yeah,
fucking
and
sense.
also like
Also,
and-
drugs are bad. You know, like.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they're
That-
both doing drugs.
Remember when he gives her the extra drugs to show that he's nice?
That was
the
sweet.
extra
That was
2
sweet.
ibuprofen.
While they sit at a card table with heroin and
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's right.
Their lives.
Their
and
lives
they
are
look,
awesome.
they
Yeah.
are so well. Not Neil Breen, of course, but his girlfriend, the woman who plays his girlfriend, is just like rosy cheeked. She's so healthy. She's got like
Oh, yeah, she's-
shining hair. Like this is not a drug addict we're looking
Yeah,
at.
Yeah,
no.
right.
Not by any
Right.
stretch of the imagination.
But honestly, she probably had the best performance in the whole movie. Think about all the performances in this movie. The drug addict woman was easily the best.
I would say either her
The
or
homeless guy
the
was pretty
woman
good.
that the homeless guy wasn't bad. The
The
woman,
rats, I mean.
his interaction with those fake rats. This is a great point.
It is.
Yeah, that's
Like,
tough. That's
he
tough work.
sold that. All right. But yeah, the woman that played Cade's girlfriend or wife
She
had
did-
to endure a lot of caresses.
Yeah,
and,
and
like,
She's the best.
kisses
she's
to
the
the
biggest
eyelids.
trooper. Easily.
yeah, trooper. She the
Yeah.
willpower we
She
could
had to
observe.
kiss him on the lips.
Exactly. To not grimace is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
How do we?
Where the fuck are we?
Yeah, how do we finish off this story?
Well-
Because it's we
So
can't.
He figures
we
out
can't
he
do it.
meets with Coos, and they look at the art, and he's like, "This is great." And then he's like,
They're walking by his pool, and he's like, "Also, I'd like to buy some of that like DNA AI virtual programmable DNA."
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Kuz is like, "Ooh,
Oh, let's do it, okay?
"Let's go somewhere private to speak about my art privately."
Yeah.
And you're like,
But
"Oh
anytime
my
we do
God,
that
And then the
impression,
cat
can you pitch
statues
shift
look
our
at him.
voices so it sounds
Yeah,
good?
yeah.
Instead of us just talking like Cookie Monster, because
He's like Neil Breen's Job of the Hut.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Whoa,
like
yeah, he kind of is.
And so,
And she was Salacious Crumb.
yeah.
The muse was Salacious Crumb.
Oh,
All right,
God.
we gotta
So
figure out how
he,
to tell this.
I know we have to.
He goes to like confront them.
Who's them?
Kuz and the like weird men in black that Kuz is, I guess, making, because they go to
because
the
it's a clone thing too.
Yeah, they're, like,
they're
cloning
mutant
people.
clones.
yeah.
Like throughout all this, though, he's getting calls where I couldn't even like hear what this boss of his was saying to Cade, the blonde woman
Yeah.
in the darkened conference room. She was like delivering orders to him.
Yeah, it was basically
Wow.
she was just kind of telling him to do something, and then he'd go and he'd just see it.
Yeah,
happen,
you just
like,
see it
the next
happen.
scene.
Yeah.
But he went to go talk to Kuz, in like the break room. It looked like at the college, and they're all sitting in a circle with like the men in black guys, and then Kuz,
right
who's
when
not,
they disappear.
but it's not the same actor
not.
anymore.
No, it's a
man.
different
It's an
guy.
entirely different actor.
It's an old man,
But he's
like,
dressed
a much
exactly the
older-
same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
but like an older,
And
more
doesn't he have the
heavy-set
fake
man.
mustache
Yeah.
on?
No,
No.
This
Kuz
guy
has
does?
That's a
no-
different guy. That's
Okay.
a
This
different
guy
Kuz has
actually gives
no
a pretty
facial
good
hair.
performance as the
Yeah.
alternate Kuz.
Yeah.
with the liver spots.
Kuz 2.0.
Is that
Yeah.
another clue that we're in like Inception land?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Cupid?
that's
I
also
think
a
it's
choice.
another clue
That's
that
a
guy
choice.
couldn't show up to the other location.
Yeah.
Well,
we need
there's
a bald
two-
person.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a Kuz
Old
per
people are
movie
bald.
in this movie.
And if they're not, we'll just
Kuz.
shave them. Who cares? They don't have any rights. They're
Yeah.
just old. Whoa.
They're just old.
Whoa.
Neil. Whoa. Come on,
Oh,
buddy.
dude, like,
I'm not
off,
old,
man.
I'm Neil Breen. I'll never be old.
I was born. I looked exactly like this as the day I was
Would it be
born.
awesome
I
if
would
Neil Breen
believe
was like
that.
23?
Yes.
Like, he's like super young, but he has
Yeah.
that Jack disease.
What if
you
he
know?
actually just is a fucking alien that came here from another planet to try to teach us how to do better? And this is what he
Like, if
found.
you
And,
could figure
we're
these
just
movies out,
laughing
you'd
in his
be
fucking face.
You could
be a
Just
guy-
laughing in his face.
He's
they
the-
laughed at Jesus too, you know.
He's Neil Breen is the powerhead in the beginning of this movie,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we could be
Oh,
Neil
man.
Breen. We could be Cade if we were
choosing
open to
every
his
one.
ideas.
Yeah, but we're just a bunch of kales, man.
Yeah.
We're just a bunch of kale. Be a Cade,
just-
not a kale T-shirt.
Oh no.
God, it's
like
like
that.
Goofus and Gallant.
Yeah.
So good.
Goofus.
But after this, I lose.
It's the siege, right? Like where he
Yeah,
like
I
he sneaks through the lab. We see the lab
He
computers
blows
again.
everything
He's dropping
He blows stuff up while
alarm
he's in the
clocks.
room.
Yeah.
yeah, and it looks like he's exploding because he didn't figure out
Yeah.
how to
Layers.
Oh, there's
layer
that
himself.
great shot when he's like supposed to be walking through the train station, and he's like green screen himself into the train station, but as people walk through him, like from the foreground, into
Yeah,
the
they
background,
just talk
they
through
just, like,
him.
go
Right.
right through him.
Yeah.
And
But
you're
he
like, oh my
did.
God.
He did cut out a few people so they go in front of him.
When he's showing
It,
me
like, the
like
beginning of that shot,
Face
but then he
ID?
just gives up.
Yeah,
Technically.
yeah. It looks okay at first.
At
and
first,
then
like,
by the end
kind
there's
of,
like
yeah.
whole people covering him. For like a
Yeah.
second, and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
It's great.
But yeah, so after this he goes and he blows up the factory
that Kuz is using to make the mutants.
to make the mutants,
Right?
which,
Andrea,
I
right?
have put all my faith in the way you have analyzed this movie because I swear, sitting and listening to y'all talk about this, I'm like, whoa, really? And it's just, oh, is that what happened? I'm like experiencing the movie again.
yeah.
Just sitting back and listening.
I'm grasping at straws. Like, I was
Yeah. No, I got it.
struggling to
No,
figure
I fully
out.
got it.
He-
I
no,
understand.
I remember the
fully
raid.
got
He-
it. Jimmy
he-
speaks Breen at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He destroys all of Kuz's like his whole facility.
Yes.
That's gone now. It's
And
blown
he's leaping
up.
all over the place.
Yeah, he's leaping.
Yeah. You know what? We haven't.
It's like the Matrix Reloaded. With it's like
It's
Breen's
exactly
version of that.
like
Yeah.
the Matrix Reloaded.
I wish-
There was very little difference
No.
between this movie and the Matrix
Like-
Reloaded.
I
I-
actually agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's just like let him remake the sequels to the
Yeah.
Matrix.
I would
Like,
do
give
that.
him the property rights.
Yes.
No money.
Yeah.
Just
Just
give him
the rights.
Right. Yeah.
No money.
You can shit on your own
Absolutely
budget,
not.
Neil Breen.
And
Can't
you get
give
to
him a
play
budget.
Neo.
Oh my God.
Neo
he
Breen.
would play Neo.
I
By
know
just,
Kung
like,
Fu.
The screen would freeze, and he would stand in front of Keanu Reeves as Neo.
That's
and
so
just,
good.
Yeah.
The
Maybe
fight.
like, sort of like Turkish Star Wars, where they just project
Exactly,
like the
yeah.
Matrix behind him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll give anything to see him dodging bullets and shit
Yeah,
in slow
dude.
motion.
Yeah.
If he did the effects
His whole body, they would just put it on an axis and tilt it.
and
Yeah.
freeze frame it,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
like
yeah.
giant digital like Mario bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That'd be so good.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Wow.
What happened in this movie again? What is
he just
Who's
chooses
the
the
gun?
lab.
I think we're like 30 minutes into the
This
movie.
is
so
where
far.
we all thought the movie was over.
No. No,
No, this is where we all were like, so it's over, right?
Right?
And it
Oh,
wasn't.
yeah.
It was
No.
still like 30 or 20 minutes
this-
left. And we're like, are you
this
Point
movie-
out it's about 20
Yeah,
minutes.
Yeah,
20
this
minutes.
movie
Yeah.
has more endings than Return of the King.
Yes,
Like,
it is. It's Neil Breen's Return of the
does.
King.
Ah,
Because the thing Andrea already talked about, the home theater thing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
That already
also
happened.
see-
doesn't relate
Kale-
to anything.
No,
Kale,
no.
Kale, like, finally kills those dudes in the basement. and then somehow it cuts directly to like police officers being like, "We got all these bodies," right?
Yeah,
Doesn't
something
it? Or
like
something
that.
like that.
I don't
They
know.
do that weird thing, dude. The music in this movie is insane.
It's absurd.
It's like
It's completely
it cycles between
inappropriate.
incredibly
Yeah, it's way too
uplifting,
intense.
or it like layers different songs atop
yeah,
one
yeah,
another.
right,
There's a number of
It's
times
just,
where like
it's
two
just
songs play at the same
straight
time.
cacophony. It
made me
induces
nervous.
so many anxiety attacks.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, there was that
Absolutely.
scene of him
Exactly.
sleeping where it was just like, "Shut up, shut up," and you're like, "Dude, that is a man in a bed. You need to fucking calm the
And no, but then
down."
remember he gets up, he's like,
Who's that? Yeah,
and then he
"Who's
falls,
in my house?"
and then he falls asleep again.
Dude,
He falls asleep again right away. The
Immediately.
music-
But like you see, you do
God
see,
damn
the
it.
music was so intense. It's just a
you
man
see a
sleeping.
silhouette pass in like over top of him and his
Right,
wife
yes.
sleeping
A
in bed.
totally indeterminate silhouette. It's
I
just like a bunch of prongs.
I thought it was the statues on the
cat statues?
The cat
Cat
statues
statues.
on the
Cat
table.
statues?
If only.
It looked like their silhouette. It did.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Man, wouldn't it be
look
cool
like
if they
a
turned
weird-
into like humans in cat suits that fought Neil Breen or something? That'd be so good.
If
That
this
would
was
be
an
great.
anime, like, yeah, just give this
Which
to like
you
an
know
anime
about.
guy.
Do you
and be
guys
like,
think
yeah,
that?
right.
Do you guys think that Neil Breen likes
Right.
anime?
Yes.
I don't know if
he
he's
likes
ever-
tentacle porn, but I don't know if he likes anime.
Yeah, he probably likes the porn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he's ever seen a movie besides like David Lynch. You know what I mean? Like he's seen E.T. and David Lynch.
And
Yeah.
Ultraviolet.
And Ultraviolet.
And
And
Finding Dory.
Finding Dory.
Not Finding Nemo.
Yeah, no. Fuck
Just
that.
No,
Fuck
no,
that.
no.
Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Those are the four movies.
Well, what did
Really,
you tell
what
us?
more does one need?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Cinematically
Well,
speaking.
yeah, when we saw him,
Yeah.
he like
He identified the sum total of all movie genres.
but he was talking like somebody asked him a question and like you could see like I saw the moment in Neil Breen's head where he was like, I cracked it. I know what this is my mic drop right here. And
Right.
he was like, there's basically just four movie genres anyway, and everyone
and
was like
everyone's just like you could hear the
waiting,
creaks
just
as
like
everyone
bated breath,
scooted
just
forward
like
on their chairs,
Yeah.
like it's-
Crowd inhales.
Tell
and he
us.
goes horror movies, action movies, dramas, and
romantic comedy.
romantic comedies.
That's
Oh no,
it.
Drop.
wasn't me like
No,
forgetting.
that was
him.
exactly
That was him where he was
how
like
he said it.
he just had he's like there's gonna be profound. I'm gonna say that there's basically only four genres of movies in the way that like sometimes you can find common threads and then break it
No,
down
you
and
totally
be like
can.
yeah, like
I've heard this before.
yeah, like,
there's only like
all movies
7
being,
types
like-
of stories.
yeah, exactly.
That's a real thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Romantic comedy.
romantic comedy was the last one that he had.
That's like a subgenre.
Well, wait, it's a combination of two
Two
genres.
genres,
That should
yeah.
be able to stand
Well,
on their
someone had
own.
a
right.
follow-up question where I think they asked that very thing. They were like, "Is like a romantic movie and a comedy? Do they not stand alone?"
Oh,
And
that's
I-
right.
And he got upset.
He got kind of flustered, and he kind of like
Did he? Yeah, it was like I'm the filmmaker.
yeah.
So-
He's like,
Wait, wait,
excuse
yeah.
me.
Why would you want to watch something just to laugh and not fall in love at the same time? I don't understand. Like, it's fucking stupid.
yeah. Listen
I mean,
to the realtor.
have
up
you
here.
ever heard the phrase "live, laugh, love"? Well, you're doing the living.
I find
The
it
movie's taking
I
care
just
of the
find it
other
unconscionable that he didn't say sci-fi, considering his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every movie he
And
has.
it's about aliens.
It's
and
all
fucking
this shit, and he
technology.
doesn't say science fiction.
but
No.
you know what? That's just science. There's no fiction there, buddy. That's
Yeah,
all
that's
real.
all
That's
real.
all
It's
real.
thriller. It's
Yeah.
it's drama.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's so real. It's drama.
Right.
It's a true story.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does
He
this
basically
end?
makes
How does this
sci-fi
fucking movie
thrillers.
end? We have to
Hold
end
on.
this.
All right. What happened last?
Well,
We just
Kale is out. He's done. He's blown up the things. He's met with the muse. There's something else. Oh,
Well,
there's a weird. Earlier, I was like, "Why are we seeing this? And what does it have to do with anything?" His like wife, sister, like he shows. There's a scene where it shows her like getting a white
after
thing.
Yeah.
she observes Cade interacting with
Oh,
a
yes.
random ass woman
right.
that I guess
Who
Neil
was-
Breen wants us to believe is a prostitute, but she's dressed like a very, very like.
Well, she's
normal
somebody
woman.
who used to date Kale.
I
Right.
think it's
Yeah.
Kale's girlfriend that we saw earlier in the movie,
that woman
but
had like
She has-
dark hair.
No,
That woman
exactly.
had dark hair. hair.
Yeah.
This one is
She is
blonde.
blonde.
No, but
Yeah.
I think that it was supposed.
I guess
do
the old
this. They
man.
do
I
this
mean,
in Neil
he
Breen
was turned
movies,
into
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So
and
it
then he
doesn't
turned back
matter.
into he
Right.
turned back into normal. So I think that
So
Yeah.
they have an incredibly like true to human life interaction
He's
where
like,
they
"Get
like
some help. Here's
physically
some
run
money."
into one another.
Right.
And she goes,
Hey, baby.
"Hey, baby, you want some time?" And then they just like
Oh, that's right.
launch into grabbing each other
And
by the
shaking each
lapels
other.
and shaking each
Yeah.
other and screaming. She's
she's
going,
like-
you just had a beard. You had a beard."
She's like, "What did you shave?" And
What
Neil
did you
Breen's
shave?
like, "I never had a beard.
I never had a beard.
How fucking dare you? How dare you insinuate I ever had a beard?
And then she's like, "I
That's
do."
another T-shirt. It's like him screaming. It says, "I never had a beard."
And it's outrageous.
good.
And then they immediately calm down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's like, "Get some
Wait,
help."
you
Yeah.
know my brother Kale? And
Get
she's
some
like,
help.
Well, yes, and he's like, I'm not him.
Yeah.
And he gives her some money.
And then he's
But-
like, "That's my brother. That's my twin." And she's like, "What is happening right now?"
she becomes us.
Yeah.
Right.
The
He
voice
becomes a surrogate,
of the audience,
surrogate,
and goes,
right.
"What is happening
Yeah.
right now?"
And then so his wife sees this happening, and then
Off, like
They're
on the
hugging,
steps.
yeah,
of-
and that's the moment where I think
the
she
quad.
decides to turn on him because she turns on
Right?
him.
No, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because he
and then
talked
she
to
just
another
starts
lady and
trading
then
drugs.
no, I think that
He was giving another lady money for all she knew.
yeah.
But the other lady is supposed to be a woman of the night, right? In her eyes,
Yes.
yes,
she viewed her as like a prostitute.
I guess.
guess.
I don't know.
I'm trying.
I
here.
haven't-
I mean, I would
She's just
assume-
a woman.
Yeah,
But I mean, in Neil Breen's
Exactly.
mind, that
Right.
was like what she was seeing was he's paying off a
Exactly,
prostitute in the
exactly.
middle of a square.
yeah,
Which
Of
I don't know
this
how that would
university?
be.
outside of the college. that
That's
they
not
work
where
at.
you give a prostitute money
Yeah.
if something happened, right?
Where do you
So-
give a prostitute money, Bob?
Huh? In her hand.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
But then
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a nice
Let's
day.
have a hug. That's how you pay for a prostitute.
Yeah.
You put
Yeah.
the money directly in her hand in broad daylight,
Right.
standing
Right.
in a place you know.
Make sure your wife
your wife
or girlfriend is
walks by
watching
all the time.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then you say, "Thank you, ma'am. Let's hug it out."
Also, you need to be a humanoid digital super vampire
Right, being
mutant.
of light, being of light.
Being of
Being
light.
of light.
Yeah. Right.
So then no, the wife sees that and then she starts wait, what were the names of the wife and the girlfriend? It was
Oh,
like
I know.
Alana and Donna.
It was
Alana and Donna.
the wife was Alana and the
The fact
girlfriend
they
was Donna.
rhymed was so good.
Like Kale and Kate, Alana and
Yeah,
Donna.
right,
That's
right.
nice.
Alana Donna.
But so then she starts like I guess selling out
Yeah,
Neil
yeah.
Breen and then
In what? But,
Exactly.
like,
What capacity
who
is
knows?
she
Yeah.
selling
Because
him
if
out?
she meets with one guy and he gives her
She's
an
doing, like,
envelope thingy,
drug deals.
and then she goes and gives that envelope thingy to somebody else, and then immediately that guy walks 10 feet down a flight of stairs from her handing him an envelope, and Neil Breen
right.
just snatches them up and is like, "Why are you following me?"
That's when he cut out the word.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
he cut
said-
out the
Yeah.
word "God damn it."
Yeah,
which-
they-
At this point, we were like, "What did he actually say?
Yeah, because I was
Did
worried.
he say the N word?"
I thought
he said the N-word too.
I was really
We
worried he
know-
said the
Yeah.
N
And
word.
then
That is
Bob
so good. I'm
proceeded
sorry, I was
to-
just going out of control. I
Yeah.
got way into.
I kept fucking up, and I kept
Yeah.
rewind because the movie has no chapters
Exactly.
on the
No
DVD.
chapters.
I
And
kept
no
going back.
subtitles.
No,
No
subtitles.
subtitles.
No chapters.
So I kept breaking the law by replaying the movie and fast forward to
Right.
get us back to the point like 3 times.
I think we rewatched this movie like in a total of 4
Which
times.
is
Yeah, it is at
sad
high
how
speed.
much we don't know what happened.
Yes.
Yeah. And even when we were watching it, like we were trying mentally, we were like taking inventory. We were like, okay, this happened, this happened. So this is like a nice
happened.
recap.
I still can.
And then
Still.
as the
No idea.
second that the DVD restarted and started playing the movie again, I was like, I don't know what the fuck.
So
Oh,
he
it's gone.
calls
Yeah.
he calls this man the N word, and then he just goes, "You're a traitor!
Yeah.
You're a traitor!" To what cause? Because we've
To
never
whom,
seen this
to
man.
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what did he see him do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I also
He was
love-
around the corner.
He was
You
around
didn't
the corner.
See them.
He did the deal with his
Ugh.
like wife, who I fucking loved this. Walked into the darkness and walked up to a door they clearly hadn't rented out.
Oh,
She
yeah,
could
Yeah.
not-
She didn't have a student
Couldn't
ID.
go, right.
She could not
So then
walk
she
through
just
this
stopped.
door. So
Yeah.
she just stops and turns around.
And the scene
And
keeps
you
going.
just see her not in the like total darkness. You just see her like standing and waiting for the camera to move.
Pan
away.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It's
Oh.
so
It's great.
good.
Oh, it's
But
good.
the movie basically ends with
Well, his wife
pulling a gun on him.
Pulls a gun on him
Yeah.
while his back's turned, and then he unbelievably slowly. I don't know why she didn't shoot him.
Oh, it's so good. He's like has it out but facing away from her.
He
Yeah.
fumbles
And then so he
at his
turns
waistband,
around.
But, like, gets
Yeah.
run out for like several minutes.
Yeah, and
But I feel like they both wanted it to be like they kill each other together.
yeah.
As some
Yeah.
weird kind of sex death. I don't know.
Their fetishes.
The ultimate orgasm, Matt. It's
I
like
guess
you gotta
if
shoot
you-
each other
yeah.
exact same time, right?
And then he
Yeah.
lays his
Sex death.
Lips.
That's what this
I
movie should have
thought
been
they
called.
Sex,
Wait, sex what?
sex death.
Oh,
Sex
no.
death would be great.
Yeah.
You know, if they're now, you beat his pull quote by saying the ultimate orgasm in this review. So
Yeah.
he's gonna put that on the cover.
ultimate orgasm.
Both rows bonus.
The ultimate orgasm. Okay.
This really is a very vanilla movie, though. There's like
Except
no
for those
nudity.
two.
Yeah, except for the part where
Where
like
they
he
have, like,
pretends
Where
to
they
rape his
rape him?
wife,
Yeah.
and then she breaks a fucking thing over his head.
But
And
they're
wait,
That's why I
giggling.
love that. We were like, why is there just a? That's why
They said they set it
planned
up.
that.
yeah, they left.
They're sick.
They left
They're sick people.
They left
They're
for work that
crazy.
morning. Put that there, and they were like, for
They
later.
go Goodwill shopping to be like, I bet
I
I
wanna
probably
smash
smash
this
that over your head
Yeah.
without really hurting you,
But
right?
it doesn't
And then-
culminate
and then-
in
no,
anything.
That's why it's
They
so
just
awesome.
embraced and
Their
gives her a
fetish
chaste
doesn't lead to
kiss.
sex. It's just the thrill
Yeah.
of
Oh,
the.
yeah, they didn't. Even
It doesn't.
have
It doesn't
sex, you're
define
right.
them. It's just something.
Maybe-
They don't need orgasms. They
Yeah.
at the
Oh, they're like
past
those people
orgasm.
that, like,
They live in
close their eyes and
orgasm-free life.
orgasm while touching hands.
Yes.
Yeah, they do that.
I would
He's a
feel
humanoid.
less uncomfortable if they got down and fucking dirty
Right.
in that moment than if he
Right.
just gently like laid
Caressed her,
his
yeah.
horrible like millimeter thin lips against her forehead the way he did. That was so much more uncomfortable.
Yeah, I do like though that when they do break the thing, there is a shattered glass sound, and then the sound of broken glass, meaning that this little like fun like sex game that they were playing,
They're
they
literally
were actually
glass
rolling around
area.
in broken glass,
Yeah.
Maybe covered in blood.
covered in blood.
Well, we covered
But
this
that's
already.
part of the thing that they're into.
yeah,
So wait,
you didn't pick up on that part.
I still don't
That's
understand.
canon, dude. That's canon.
I still
I
don't
checked out
know-
the wikia for this movie, and they talk about how that's canon.
it's all
Did they
it's
both
all hot
shoot each
sex
other,
shit.
or did he just shoot her?
No, they
They
shot
both
each other.
shot
each
each other, but because he's a what's the term? Jimmy?
Humanoid.
Humanoid,
Humanoid,
artificial intelligence,
artificial
virtual
AI,
reality, digital human computer.
DNA. Yep.
Being
Because
of
he's
light.
that, he can't die.
Space boy.
Space boy.
Which, if he knew that, then fuck him for like shooting her, I guess.
Why
'cause-
not?
I know, right?
Why
He
not?
did-
No, why not?
Well, but then
She
after
couldn't
that,
have
why
killed
not?
him.
Why not shoot your wife?
Then you fucking like wrestle her again and be like, remember this? This was great.
Yeah.
And then she's
Well,
like, all right, I love you.
Andrea,
I'm sorry. I tried.
He
Yeah.
to kill
knew
you."
that he was going to ascend after this, so he's like, obviously, without me, she doesn't need to be alive anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
true.
he
Yeah.
just
That is true.
He just bulldozes her
That
with a
is the
gun
way of the
and
world.
then
Yeah.
goes
She
to
probably-
heaven.
She's not like pure enough to go to the Godhead realm.
Right.
But then the god does
Her
make
T cells
her.
were.
Oh
again.
yeah, no. I guess she
Yeah,
was
right.
older than I thought.
Yeah, right. She's
I'm
worthless.
glad you knew what I was talking about because I was about to die
Oh,
like
yeah.
on a hill, just being like, "Did no one know
Yeah.
about this
This guy.
T-cell?"
Yeah. No, that guy is the funniest but also scariest thing that has ever existed.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's really
yeah. His
awkward.
channel's atrocious.
It's disgusting. It's
atrocious.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I don't know why she had to die in that way for him to go to the giving tree
Yeah.
to meet his brother
I mean,
again.
I don't think she had to die.
But why? Did
Well, but he said Alana will always be with me because I can't forget her. I can't get over her. But like, dude, you fucking murdered her a second ago.
Well, she also showed up in the like cyber
Yeah.
realm and then was like,
Is that the cyber realm?
I don't know.
It's the God cyber virtual reality DNA digital
Okay.
realm.
Yeah.
I guess it's sort of like it would be like maybe the Godhead thing is in the like ethereal realm.
Yeah.
And we're in the
He keeps
in the
showing
like
up like
physical
Mr.
plane.
fucking
and
Howdy in The Exorcist.
Yeah, he does.
Captain Howdy. Yeah.
Captain Howdy. I was
Yeah.
like,
Captain
Mr. Howdy
Howdy.
is not quite right.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
tree is like a
Fill in
gaping
that
Mr.
blank.
Hanky.
Mr. Hanky.
He keeps showing up like Mr. Hanky.
Mr. Hanky.
Yeah, the head just erupts out of the
Stupid.
toilet and jumps all over the place.
So
But
stupid.
then, but then, like, she shows up and he's like, "Cool, we can be here now." And then she just like lets his hand drop and she's like, no, I can't be here anymore, and then disappears. And it's like,
Yeah.
why?
Why
Like,
the fuck did she come back?
I think that honestly, it's one of those things where it's one of those tropes where the woman's loss equals the man's like sort of like growth in this movie. Like,
oh yeah,
oh,
well, for
absolutely.
sure.
But, like-
like,
but,
they're
like, they
just
do it-
stepping stones in the path.
but they do it twice.
Yeah.
They do it twice.
They do
Like
it
you think
twice.
that it's gonna be like, oh, okay, no, never mind, and then it's like, see ya, bye.
Neil Breen subscribes to the fact that repetition has the most impact.
Yes.
Like we
Yeah.
will just feel it more and more.
Yeah.
But the more we're exposed to
And
the
he
same
has
fucking
his
thing
own
over and over again.
his own version, like the Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yeah.
Except
it's
they're
the
not.
it's the busty plain.
Yeah,
MILF.
yeah, right.
West Coast MILF.
West Coast Realtor MILF. Yeah, it's like okay.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And just like they make him better just by being hot and near him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
laying
Yeah.
on their stomach,
Yeah,
or
with
wearing
their
wings.
shirts off,
yeah, just.
wearing wings. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends with him looking at the audience and saying, "I'll be right here," and
And
pointing to his
Yeah.
chest,
And then it's
like
just
ET.
glowing.
It ends
Like
with an
E.T.
ET quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it glows. Yeah. It
glows.
That little like glow that he
It
uses.
ends with a fucking ET quote,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
that's what it ends.
And now we're all ready to begin the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Because now that we've seen this movie, it's taught us a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a lot of changes. I think. I'm gonna start eating kale more often because
Yes.
the character's name was Kale, and I think that's,
If I have
that's
a
what he's going
son,
for.
if I have two sons, they're gonna be named Cade and Kale.
Do it.
Altair.
And if-
Altair.
yeah, and if you have 2 daughters, they're gonna be named Lana and Donna.
Donna.
With no last name though.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
just.
Oh
just-
no! Why would a woman have a last name?
Oh no.
No. I didn't have a last name until I married Jimmy, but ironically, it wasn't the same name as
I
me.
know. It's weird. It's weird how
really
that worked
weird.
out.
I just
The
made
name that we picked out of the hat, I put
Yeah.
one name that wasn't mine. There was 20 different names. 19 of them said Giegerich.
Yeah.
One said Kalfas, and you got that
Yeah,
one.
luck
so.
of the draw.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for picking a hard one. Give me an easier one.
Maryland marriage laws are weird.
I
man.
know,
Yeah, they're
right?
strange.
Very strange.
They're
It's
really
very
strange.
I mean, so I guess the conclusion I'm getting from everything we've already said is that
This was a good movie.
I was gonna say great. I was gonna say great, but
But Jimmy
are we
has to
are we
downplay
saying
it.
as far as Neil Breen movies go, do we recommend people watch this one?
I mean, if you're.
Yeah, you watch all of them.
I mean,
you watch
yeah,
all.
you really
You watch
shouldn't
all.
miss
Watch
the
all.
Neil
Yeah.
Breen.
I think
I
that-
mean, it's definitely it's
The
worth
next
watching.
time he comes out with a DVD-R with no subtitles that he sends to me in a jewel case that costs $30, I'm gonna buy it. Like,
Yeah.
and the next time
Sure.
after that, and
You
the next
almost
time
have a
after
responsibility to do so.
that. Yes,
This
yeah.
is the worst one, though. I think.
I
Hands down. This is the worst.
I
It's the worst.
actually
It's the worst movie.
didn't
Yeah.
enjoy myself at all. But I
I
think that it's.
Really?
You didn't?
I did not like this movie. I didn't.
I had a horrible time. Every
I think
aching,
it
agonizing
loved the
moment.
plastic rats
Those
on
are
the
great.
side of the road, but no, this like didn't hold.
That was it.
This didn't hold a candle to Fateful Findings.
No.
Not at
No, no, no.
That
all.
Fateful Findings is his Pulp Fiction.
It
it's
was
like
great.
it's like
Yeah.
just
But that being said,
genius.
you're absolutely right. You have to watch every single Neil Breen
Yeah.
movie.
oh yeah, you
I-
can't just
his
yeah.
his vision, if I want to call it that, is really something truly.
He is an
unique.
auteur of the highest order, and that is not an arguable
Well,
fact.
what do we say? We
Just
think that like
trying.
David Lynch probably like looks at him and goes, "I aspire to
be Neil
do
Breen."
this." Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I just had less money. Damn it.
Oh, well, David Lynch could be like, I wish I had no expectations. I could be free like he is.
Oh,
just
yeah.
create.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Pretty
Neil
much.
Breen is totally free.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah.
just do whatever
Yeah.
he wants and nobody can question anything.
I feel like if David
So-
Lynch is like a craft beer, like Neil Breen's a Bud Light Lime.
But in
Fair.
space.
And sometimes,
It has been watered down with
He's
ice
a JPEG
cubes.
of a Bud Light
yeah.
Lime.
And sometimes I
Yes.
just want a Bud Light Lime. So
Yeah.
You
This
have
was-
to
this
drink
is his
every
worst movie.
Bud Light Lime
This
you
is
see.
disappointing
Yes.
because
Yes.
the Kickstarter video, for some reason, I don't know what on earth.
It
I
made
was-
it seem like he was going to
I
make
was
this
like,
awesome
Well, he said that he had
movie.
Hollywood stars in it too.
Oh,
Who were they?
Who were they?
They
I
weren't.
wonder.
That's what he said though. He was like, I've got 2 Hollywood stars, major Hollywood stars who are going to be in this movie and like that kind of stuff. When he was doing the Kickstarter, now that he made the movie,
He was talking
obviously-
about himself and himself.
Holy shit, bro.
Holy shit.
You
Kate,
true.
Kate and Kale.
Yeah.
That's me.
I thought it. I was postulating that it was going to be Johnny Depp. I thought that Johnny Depp. might...
Dude, that'd be fucking.
I feel as though that would
It's like-
ruin the essence of
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
of Neil Breen.
100%. But I feel like Johnny Depp I could
Johnny
just
Depp.
see
it's
him.
all
I
it's
wanna
all
see,
Me
like-
Too people.
What if
No,
it was?
I want to see like Ben Kingsley in a Neil Breen.
I could see
movie.
that happening.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
as the Godhead?
What if
or
it was
something,
Steve
like-
Martin?
Something. Sure.
What?
Steve Martin and Ben Kingsley. As the old men that
are the twisted pair.
the twisted
Pair
pair.
two.
I mean,
I
Well,
was
this
Sir
also
Anthony
ended with you'll see Kane.
Yeah,
or Cade.
Kane and
no,
Kale
Cade.
will return.
No, just Cade. It's
Yeah, just Cade. Kale's
Altair,
gone.
Cade
He's out of
Altair
there.
will return.
Last
Right.
time we saw Kale,
Yeah.
he was shivering by a lamppost in the
right.
desert.
Oh
So-
yeah, and then someone's
He's fine.
voice, because there's no difference in inflection between them, said, "I hope he's well,"
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
So maybe that was Cade hoping. It doesn't matter.
So he might make a first sequel for the first time.
That'd be nuts, man.
Twisted Pair 2.
Yeah.
Two
twisted.
pair. Two
Two
twisted.
twisted.
Two pair.
it would be Twisted Triplet.
God damn
Oh
it.
shit!
Not
There would be a
Twisted
third
Pair.
one.
Yeah.
The Godhead baby's gonna shoot out a new one. New one.
God.
Twisted Trio.
Dude, what
Shoot
was
out.
that? Put these things in theaters. You know, I mean, they're having all these problems getting people to theaters. I
Yeah.
feel like if you put this in a theater, people would actually go to it.
Yeah.
On a
insane.
nationwide
No,
level.
You're insane.
I feel like in the culture we have, Neil Breen
Yeah.
could be something
The
different.
amount of fucking people that just are like, we're unemployed or retired in the afternoon, and we're gonna go see a movie that would ask for refunds 10 minutes.
That'd be
in.
hilarious.
They would
Honestly,
be like,
though,
we're
I
never
think-
putting another one.
I
of these
think
in
people
theaters
are
again.
hungry for having experiences that are not preceded by any expectations.
Yes.
Like there's so much like I can't look at Facebook for the next like 48
Right.
hours because I
Right,
know
right.
like this hype is so big.
Right,
Like the experiences where there's no news and no information shared, like those are the things that people get really excited about.
It brings you
It
right
is
back to
true.
Breen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, and it's kind of
The
cliche.
man with the
Dude, he
message.
can
I mean-
save Hollywood.
I say they get really excited about it. I'm like talking out of my ass because that's like does not hold a candle to how excited people were for like Endgame.
Right, right,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I would say that, like, and it's kind of cliche to say, and people say this about, like, these kinds of guys a lot, but, like, I do love the fact that somebody in this day and age is making movies like this. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
like, it's so, like, pure, even though it's 100%, like, total, like, aggrandizing bullshit most of the time. I think that,
But
like,
he's genuine.
yeah.
The fact that
And
everyone has that.
I could
same
if I
message
made
is
one of
what
these movies,
it-
which I could. I mean, like
Dude,
production wise,
I could. I don't
I
make
feel like
movies.
you-
and I
Yeah,
could do
it's like anybody at this table probably could.
Yeah.
But none of us would be doing it genuinely,
earnest.
like
Right.
earnestly,
Yeah.
like he believes in this.
Yes,
and
yeah.
that's something you can't get anywhere.
Yeah,
That's why the Tommy Wiseau comparison, like
doesn't hold up.
Tommy
yeah.
Wiseau gets himself now,
Yes. Now he
and
does.
Yes.
it's just not funny
Yeah.
anymore.
I
Yeah.
think I like
Yeah.
Neil Breen way better than I like.
And even
Tommy.
then,
Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau just wants to make money
exactly.
and have
And be
people
famous.
No,
name in
Neil
people's
Breen
mouths.
wants to.
Neil Breen wants to change the
something.
way people think about
Exactly.
the future, which is amazing.
Yeah,
It's outrageous.
I mean, it's
And he
It's
thinks
endearing.
it's
It-
not
he has
working.
found
It's
It
not
doesn't.
working.
No, no, he's
Perfect
terrible what he's
platform.
doing, but that's what makes it so endearing.
he
He's like,
chose
you know
he
that
chose this
really doesn't
platform
care.
Exactly.
to make movies to change people's minds.
Right.
Yes, definitely.
Which is something that a lot, like the Birdemic guy and Tom Wiseau, they all kind of were just trying to make movies, like genre movies,
Right. Yeah.
And they got famous for being bad, and then they
Yeah.
got the joke.
Right.
They got
Whereas
the
Neil
joke.
Breen, obviously, like you guys said, doesn't. You met him; he does not get it,
He doesn't get it. No.
and he's still
Oh.
trying to send a message.
Yeah, he's making movies like this while at the same time like trying his hardest to tell people that they're not midnight movies, they're not so bad that they're good, and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he genuinely believes in it. I mean, it's kind of sad, but like but at the
You know
same
what
time,
it is? He's like it's
He's
like
a
community,
reptile. He can't feel
it's community
anything.
Yeah.
theater, honestly.
Yeah,
He's like a small community theater guy
Yeah.
who's writing like these tiny plays that really mean something.
yeah,
and nobody's seeing them.
right.
You know, what
It
I
also
mean?
reminds
That's
me
what
of
it is.
like
So-
Michael Scott's character that he writes, Michael Scarn in
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Office. Like
Yeah.
it just seems as if he's like Neil Breen being a cyber hacker is Michael Scott wanting to pull out a gun during any kind of like improv session.
Right,
that
right,
he's
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's the same thing. Like
Neil
he
Breen like wishes he understood computers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And he tries to via breaking them into pieces.
yeah.
right,
This is how
right,
you
right.
Yeah,
reach
well,
the path
to
of
understand
understanding.
computers, you gotta crack a few
Computers.
Break a few open, see what's in there.
Yeah, right.
Dump some lettuce.
Is there
on.
anything you guys want to plug?
Um,
But let's besides the internet and your
Uh,
humanoid bodies of space and
yeah,
time.
Beings of Light. That's what I want to plug
Okay.
today. I want to plug
Oh.
Beings
Yeah.
of Light. I want to plug Cyber AI, Programmable DNA, Beings of Light. So,
Bungholes with bungs.
Hey, nice.
hey, there we go. Now we're talking.
We gotta plug some bungholes with some bungs.
Also scarves. The scarves.
Scarves.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice scarves. in
Yeah.
this
Several
movie.
colors. Pick your, you know,
Yeah. There was
Definitely.
fake crystals,
I will plug.
rats.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. You just took the words out of my mouth. So.
Wow, dude, way to
Thank you.
steal Andrea's plug.
It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Was that it? Did you have no other plugs?
I really only cared about the
Wow,
rats.
dude.
But the cat statues,
Cats,
I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
cat
I love
statues.
them. They're my favorite characters,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Kuz was my favorite.
All right.
Get your koozie.
Get your koozie. Koozie.
Best ending to one
Yeah,
of these episodes
and
yet.
don't forget, watch Ultraviolet.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a great
So
film
much.
that
Yes.
Neil
and
Breen
Finding
loves.
Dory.
Yeah,
To
Finding Dory.
understand Neil Breen, watch those two movies.
Yeah. I mean, Finding Dory is basically a sequel to Ultraviolet. So,
Yeah.
you know.
The perfect double feature. The
Yep.
Twisted Pair double
Yeah,
feature.
there you go.
All right, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
having us.
thanks.
You've just listened to Bonus Disc, available only on Thundergrunt. Questions, complaints, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts of Bonus Disc are 100% valid, even though they took the time to watch the movies you were too ignorant to appreciate.